TikTok, it's time to rock, and as promised, ladies and gentlemen, we've come back for part 2 with a special guest all the way from somewhere in America who's seen this band,
Raleigh, North Carolina,
42 times. 42 times, my gosh. I think you need to get on this shoulder here, 42. You need the 42 tattoo, Tony. Good to see you, brother.
How you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you. As usual, it's my pleasure to introduce on the top rung with me, the Rev, 5150. Brad, just rushed in from work, again sacrificing his spare time, his leisure time to jump on with the rap bags. My gosh, the 5150s. And we've already introduced Tony. Fantastic. Good to see you guys. And we should have later on, if we play our cards right, if we do a good job, and if he thinks it's a good thing for him, he might jump on later on. But we'll keep that a surprise, guys. We'll keep that one up our sleeves. But it's my pleasure to pass on the show to Brad and the Rev, because they've got some things that they want to share and talk about. Wow.
Yeah, can you believe that Jay thought I was really a reverend of the church?
Not from the potty mouth you've got backstage, mate. Yeah, here's the potty mouth.
I reckon
feel like I'm in the Brady Bunch or something. I feel like I'm in the Brady Bunch, you know?
I know.
Story of a potty mouth New Zealander.
Well, I'm the new host.
He dresses just like a little boy.
Yeah. I'm the host of the Halenful show, so yeah, I'm probably at home there.
Yeah, we're swapping producers here. So Tony's going to be the producer of this show, and Andrew's going to show me your pick. Yeah.
Before we get into the unboxings and a general round table, Tony, I just want to say thank you for the shirt live. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you,
yeah.
thank you. It's cool. Thank you, brother.
Love your show. Yeah.
We love yours too,
awesome, man. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. I didn't know which one to wear. This was the closest one on top, but I was going to wear the Halensville one as well. So
yeah, you got to wear the home colors, man.
You traitor!
So what do you got going on, Brad?
Well, I got a little package come through in the mail, and I'm a bit curious to find out what it's from where it's from.
What's it say on the address?
The address
is my name on there.
I'm not going to give the address out, but it's got Kurt 5150.
Oh, okay, it does say it.
I knew it's from you, so I'm assuming this is it. So let me just I've got this package here.
Yeah, as you open it, so as you guys know, Brad's been kind of dealing with 5 lockdowns now in Australia.
Yeah.
And we all know what that's like because we experienced it in the United States, but it's hard to deal with. And I thought maybe I could boost his spirits by sending him a little toy to go with that guitar in the background there.
Wow. So I've already started dicing it up, guys, because I couldn't wait. So what do we got here? Wow, I think I know what this is. Holy moly, man. Kurt, you shouldn't have done that, brother.
Wow. Yeah, pull it out of the package.
Pull it out, bro. Wow.
The pitch box. So
this is highly recommended by Kurt 5150.
Yep. This is the poor man's wet, dry, wet sound. And this little pedal packs a punch. And I was hoping maybe Brad could do a dry test and then a test with this thing if he has the capability of plugging it in. But real quick, Brad, I'll give you the tutorial on it. So you want to take the switch and go all the way down to detune.
Yep.
And then you want to go -2 cents.
Yep.
And that's your sound right there.
Wow, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so perfect for the Ernie Ball, 5150 for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge balance era. It really is. So I'm hoping maybe you can plug it in while I do my unboxing, and then we can hear a chord or two. If that's cool.
Rev, before you go and do the unboxing, have you got the chat up? Can you say g'day to the cats in the chat? Is that okay before you do that, brother?
Yeah, well, it gives Brad some time to get set up. All right. So in the chat, we have Ellen, of course. She's always here. Welcome, Ellen. We got the one and only James Gum. We have Daddy Johnny Bean. What's up, Johnny? Enjoyed your show today with Laz. And, of course, we have Lenny, Lou, and Mary. How you guys doing this evening? We got Mark Tanner. We got my brother from another mother, Neil Daly, who changed the channel from the Olympics to the 5150 show. So thank you, Neil. You can watch this instead of synchronized swimming. We got my buddy all the way from the East Coast. We got Mike M. How you doing, Mike? How was the trip to the lake? Looks like you had some fun and some good weather. Thanks for joining. Nelson Rodriguez, of course. Another rat bag's always in the chat. We have the one and only Quentin James. And we also have, hailing from Los Angeles, Caleb Rappaport from Nerd Halen.
There he is.
And then we got another frequent visitors on the show, Simon Hofford from Australia.
Hey, Simon.
And then coming in late, the one and only Cobra Kai. Thanks for the T-shirts, Cobra Kai. You're the man.
Yep, thank you so much.
Awesome, everybody. Thank you for joining us live. This is going to be a cool show. We've got a couple of things that we're going to get out of the way before we do the rankings. A special guest might jump on later on, so hold your horses, get ready, set, go.
All right, so I got a couple unboxings. One I'm going to show. I actually already unboxed it, but since Nerd Halen's in the chat, he got me onto these. So everyone's got the snap lock, swivel, eye hook, strap, whatever for your EVH straps in brass typically. But the 5150 had a black eye hooks lock set on it. And so I'm going to put this on my 5150 to make it a little bit more error correct. So thank you, Caleb, for the recommendation on those. All right. Fragile from eBay. Scissors here. This is actually something I saw Johnny Bean. He did a Instagram video a couple weeks ago in his car, and he showed this particular item, and I thought, you know what? I would probably really like that. So I found it on eBay and ordered it. So it's Van Halen, the interview. And Johnny, if you're still in here, I think it's from either 86, 87, or 88. It's a whole hour of interviews with the band. So I'm excited to jump into this and hear what the guys have to say in this interview. And as I still buy CDs, I got to have that physical connection with
Me too.
the content. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Got to have it. Got to have it in your midst, don't you? Got to
Gotta
hold
have
it,
it.
brother.
Yeah, and you got to pull out the liner notes and read it and
Yeah.
smell it and feel it and lick it and be one with it. All right, another one.
Uh-oh.
We were just talking about this in the green room.
Oh.
Oh God. EVHD tuna in black. I've never owned one of these. I have played guitars with them on it, but I've never owned one. And this bad boy is gonna go on.
Oh. That bad boy.
This bad boy.
Is that a girl or a boy? Is she a girl or a boy?
You know what? Since it's a roasted neck,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's a girl because it feels so smooth.
Yeah. That girl. She's a hottie. I
And
reckon.
it's woody.
Yeah, throw it on there, brother. Throw it on there.
And I use some of those black eye hooks on this too. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not. Okay,
Awesome,
one
brother.
more thing till we turn it over to the one and only Bradley. Last
Bradley?
package. This
Oh my
came all the
gosh.
way from the UK, International Standards.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
From Twincliffe, Hillyfields.
Whip it out, bro. Whip it out.
Speaking of t-shirts, can't have enough. Got to add it to the wardrobe. Look at this.
Oh! Oh, you bastard! How did you get that?
Nice.
That's my man cave, man. That's my studio. You've been taking photos of my studio. You bastard.
I got one word for you. Simon. And I'm not talking about the Simon in the chat. It's another Simon.
Oh.
Look at that. Les Paul. The Marshall.
Oh, that's my blues breaker, brother.
Yeah. I mean, look where this show's gone. You know, we got.
Oh my gosh. Oh
we're going to
my
have
God.
to copyright 10 out of 10, never a skip.
Oh,
Thank you,
congratulations.
Simon. Simon will probably watch the show in replay since it's probably 6 in the morning or whatever o'clock there right now. So
He always does, bro. So if anyone in the chat isn't aware, Brad and I and Simon, we do the Electric Blues show, which is on a Sunday night here in Australia and in the UK. That's the weekly show, and Simon is a co-host on that. So he got some T-shirts done up for us, and somehow the Rev managed to get them first.
a weasel.
Gosh.
Oh, you didn't get one yet?
I know. No.
Okay, Brad, we're going to double check. You're all the way down D-tune, right?
Yep.
And then -2? All right, you're good. So play it dry, just a couple chords, and then flick that baby on and do your thing.
Okay, I can't show you the pedal because I've got it.
No, that's fine.
I can show you the pedal on my board in a minute. I've just
Yeah,
sort of put it there. So
We got
that's dry.
All right.
There you go.
What do you think?
Wow. Just
Now, yeah, if you get a little delay, you know, the bop, 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 it'll be perfect. So you can mess with it.
I'll have to work on that, but that's awesome. So this is without delay at all. So this is now This is it.
Yeah.
We all need to get that.
You got to get it, Tony. You got to get one.
If
Sounds pretty
it's
good.
an inexpensive Van Halen in the box pedal like that, bros, we need to get one, don't we?
It's $70 American for this thing.
That's what Tony spends on Smoko.
What do you think, Brad?
Man, that's sick.
Awesome, brother.
You
Well
bet.
done,
I'm
bro.
going to leave you guys to the show, all right? I'm going to be back here.
All I wanted to do was put a smile on your face, and it looks like
Yes,
it did
and
that. So
what a big smile.
yeah,
Thank you
big
so
smile,
much, Kurt. And I'll have to find a home for it on my board. I don't know if I can get it up there, but I'll have to.
or maybe it's just something you keep at home when you're playing around, But it's
I'll have to fit it on there. You can see it.
oh yeah, you got room.
You got plenty of room. You got plenty of
I'll
room. You
make
can
it fit.
squeeze it on there. Squeeze it in.
I'll make it fit. Thanks, Kurt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're welcome. It's crazy,
Brad-
these mini pedals. All
Brad-
my pedals are all. Not if you send them the long one, it won't fit.
It'll fit.
Yeah, man. I hope that sounded as good. I'm not my playing, but the actual sound.
No, good. All good, bro. It's all good.
It sounds bigger through the StreamYard compression or whatever. But
So, Rev-
I know what it sounds like in at home. They sound awesome.
Answer that question, Rev.
Oh, what's the name of the pedal? So it's more pitch box.
It's
Bro.
it's what do you call it? It's the carnal knowledge balance in a box.
It is, man. And the boss. What's the boss one?
PS6.
Yeah, PH6. Those are like $150.
$299 here, and the
Yeah.
new one, the new one that's
harmonizer.
coming out,
Yeah, the Eventide.
is about $800 here. It's a lot of money.
Yeah. So Brett,
Man.
you have to have that thing with that guitar, man. You got to.
Oh man, it's now I'm gonna have to go learn all this stuff properly.
It sounds like it, though. It captures that tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
Nice,
good.
Wow.
dude.
Like I
It
said, I'll leave you guys to do the show. I'll be back later. All right?
All right. Okay. See you later. No, it's not. You bet. No, you're not getting away that easy, you rat bag.
Oh, come on.
No way.
And my buddy Jake Tanis, I don't know if you guys have seen his stuff on YouTube. Longer-haired guy with glasses. He got me onto this, and he does a pretty good tutorial of it. That if you haven't seen the link, Brad, I'll send it to you. But
Yeah.
you really have the setting right there. It's those two. If anything, you could back it off just a little bit, but really two's the sweet spot.
Man, thank you so much, Kurt.
You bet, man.
I'm feeling very spoiled. Thank you.
Awesome, guys. I agree with what Neil said there. You get a pedal and you get a pedal. I got what did I get? I got Jimi Hendrix pedal
Unified.
that Brad recommended. I can't remember. What did I get, bro?
Unified.
Univibe. Yeah, I got a Univibe. Just
Yep.
a small little mini one. And great little pedal. But then you can spend a lot of money and buy. I remember buying a clone. Paid a lot of money for it, and I couldn't hear anything special about that pedal. So, but anyway, that's another show. Are we ready to kick on with the rankings, guys? Are we going to see where we're going to be at about 2.5 hours, 3 hours?
Yeah.
And,
I'm just pulling up my notes now. Yeah, I'm keen. Let's do it, guys. And I can't stop thinking about the pedal at the moment. So if I'm a little bit all over the place, that's probably why.
we'll show these real quick, Andrew, before we get going.
Oh,
I was telling you guys
okay,
about
bro.
mini pedals. All
hold
mine
on,
are
bro.
these small ones because I told you guys I'm just an office player. I don't play live or do anything studio. So this is a great analog delay pedal. This Donner digital delay pedal's amazing. Has a ton of settings. So
Awesome.
something like this with that pitch box really gets the balance area. I have a chorus pedal, another little mini one that I don't use that much. But here's a new one I just got that's pretty cool. It's a plexi distortion pedal, and this thing's pretty badass.
Wow.
Awesome pedals, man.
Yeah, I like these little ones. You know, they're functional, and I just need to get them put on a board so I can look official.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, thank you so much, Kurt. I would never have thought to rush out and buy one at the moment, so thank you so much.
No, that's why I did it for you. We lost Andrew at the moment.
No, it's okay. I'm waiting for you to kick off the rankings, bro. So
All right.
just and be on your best behaviour, guys, because I just got a message from the special guest, and he said he may not be on if we're disruptive, unintelligent, and indecisive on our rankings. So you know he wants us to be on the ball and on par.
I'm glad you said ball. So any recaps or anything you guys want to quickly go over? Our show we had 2 weeks ago in reference to this album or this live show, this DVD, this VHS. We kind of went in depth on first time we saw it, what it meant to us, what we liked about it, talked a little bit about the technical piece of recording it and when it came out and all that. Tony, since you weren't on the show 2 weeks ago, I'll ask you before I get into the first song, but kind of what does this VHS mean to you, and what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about Live Without a Net?
This was Eddie at his very best. Really, it was. Yeah, that's the thing that comes to mind.
Right.
Yeah.
That is his, you know.
And you bought this right away when it came out, I'm assuming?
Yeah, on VHS.
And did you watch the heck out of it? Or was it?
Of course. Of course. And I'm old school, you know that, but it is a good live Van Halen live show as you'll find.
Yeah,
of any era.
One thing I like about it is it's live. You know, they didn't go back in the studio and re-record some of the tracks. I really love Right Here, Right Now, just because I listened to that double CD on a 2-week family vacation. So it brings back a ton of memories. But as far as raw live footage, this thing really does capture it. And we'll get into it as we get into the songs. But my theory, and of course, everyone, this is the disclaimer, it's a theory. It's not proof. It's not etched in stone, but some of the songs they do on this live show are different than the album. And I wonder if some of those variations are ones that they did in the studio as they were jamming, or maybe it was a different version that they changed up for the actual track on the album. Yeah. And the band was so new, and this was the first time they got together and played live, that they just went with that version live versus the album version. You know, have you noticed a couple of the songs on there are a little bit different than the album version?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
That's great, though. I like to hear the alternative sections. It's great.
Yeah, for sure. So Neil says, Live Without a Net is cooler than handlebar mustache, dog collar, and assless leather chaps. Driving in a convertible Camaro.
Yeah.
All right, so should we go with the first track?
Let's do it.
All right. So there's only one way to rock. What a perfect song to have as the opening track for this live video. And of course, we all know this wasn't the first song that they played opening up. It was
You really got me.
You Really Got Me, right, was the first one. But you hear it, and it just works perfect for the beginning of this show. I think seeing Sammy come out with the guitar playing along Eddie was like something new. And I think that's kind of what they were looking for. They were looking for that, capture everyone's attention. I think it would have been odd if they would have came out with You Really Got Me on the first song on this DVD, because people probably would have said, why didn't Sammy do a Van Halen song first?
Good point.
Yeah. So there's probably some sort of reasoning and tactic behind it.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think the Live Right Here, Right Now version is better than this one, just because I love the ending guitar solo. On that version, I think it is a little bit more extended and has a little bit more heart to it. But I think the cohesiveness between Sammy Hagar and Eddie shows on this song. They're in sync. They're having fun. When we do the Live Right Here, Right Now, I'll give There's One Way to Rock a 10 out of 10. But for Live Without a Net, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. But yeah, I consider this a Van Halen song too. I mean, it's just perfect for them, and it just so happens to be a solo song for Sammy. But for me, I would consider it a Van Halen song. And it's funny, I was watching a video today of Tony, probably recorded about 4 or 5 years ago. He did a live video while driving in his car, and he talked about how all the Sammy and all the David Lee Roth solo songs are Van Halen songs. So it's kind of cool how that you tied that in. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So 8 out of 10. There's only one way to rock.
Fruitcake Tony.
Okay, it's on me. Dude,
It's on you, bro.
only one way to rock. Got to give it a 10.
Well done. Well done. Bring some
Go
respectability back to the show.
Go back and listen to the remastered version. Yeah.
Which version? The one on YouTube?
The studio version.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is that it?
That's
That song is a 10.
10.
You know, great choice in song. Great. I mean, yeah. Can't go
Awesome.
wrong there.
awesome.
They played it all the way through the whole time Sammy was in the band.
Mm.
That song stuck with
It's
them.
nice they kept it, but there to start with, they did a couple of his songs and a couple of old classic songs. So, you know, but that song of his is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And to come out there right off the bat, you know, home run for me.
Excellent.
I feel terrible.
Brad.
Well, for me, the first time I ever watched Live Without a Net, I actually thought I'd missed in the back catalogue this song on one of their albums. I actually thought it was a Van Halen song. I was not aware that it was a Sammy solo song. But truth be told, at that point in time, I hadn't really investigated Sammy's back history or back catalogue either. So I just assumed it was a Van Halen song, and I thought it was remarkable. I was just like, wow, two guitars. They've just, and really, you know, in retrospect, looking back at the Sammy version of it and stuff like that, I actually prefer this version of it over all of them. I think this is the what I'm trying to say is probably the perfect version of the song. The way they're playing the guitars together, Sammy's singing it great, but it's such a refreshing start for the band. And I think, you know, in the context of a VHS at the time or DVD, they had to present it with a killer opener with Sammy out front. And I don't think they could have presented it with You Really Got Me as an opener, because it's sort of like they didn't really want to go back, if that makes sense, to the Dave era. So yeah, for me, it's a 20 out of 10. It's never a skip. It's a cracking version of the song, and there's so much energy. The one thing that I love about it the most is you can see how much fun they're having and how much they loved each other and admired each other. There was just a mutual admiration in the band, and I really think this was an amazing era for Van Halen. It's just one of their highlights for me overall. I mean, all of their albums are highlights, obviously, but you know, this was a really magical time for the band. Andrew.
Yeah. Andrew, you want to say hi to CJ in the chat real quick?
Hi, CJ. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We're humbled by your support. Really appreciate it. And thanks for hanging out with us. You know, this could have been a shit song. This could have been a shit song sound-wise, but for me, it will always be, guys, a 20 out of 10. What a great opener. I can't add more than what two of my co-hosts have already mentioned about the song. We won't focus too much on the Rev's comments, but the
80 out of 10
song
is respectable.
Rev, what's up, dude?
8 out of 10 is respectable.
I'm going to focus on what Brad said. The dynamic
real.
between Eddie and Sammy was infectious. And when we first bought this and played the VHS, we were blown away by the intensity between it. I didn't know too. I'm going to stick my hand up. I didn't know that this was a Sammy song. I thought it was a Van Halen song too. It wasn't until later on when you got some material coming through and realized, oh, okay, so yeah, forced us to go back and listen to some of the Sammy stuff. I'm one of those fans, so I can honestly say I didn't know anything about Sammy until he came into this band. 20 out of 10. The definitive version of the song for me. It's the only version worth watching and listening. Rev.
That was the, sorry to cut you off there, Rev, but that was the word I was looking for, Andrew, and you said it, definitive version. Yeah.
Right. All right. So moving on to Summer Nights. And real quick, since you got me on the scenes, I'm going to give a shout out to CJ as well. Love the book, man. I've read that thing like 20 or 30 times probably. I reference it on the show every time we do a show. That's why it's sitting right here next to me. Great job on it. I got both versions, and I appreciate you jumping on. You're the man.
Oh, I see, CJ. I'm just realizing that. Right on.
He's the man.
That's why CJ, why we call the Rev, it's because he has that book.
I've read that thing. It's sickening how many times I've read it. Like I should be put into a mental institute. All right.
And I got it on Kindle.
Oh, Kindle. There you go. So Summer Nights. I love the saying where he says, we got 12,000 5150s here tonight. That just like kicks it off, right? It's the summer. They're on tour. The whole band is head bobbing.
And Eddie's playing the Steinberger.
Eddie's playing the Steinberger. The intro. I mean, this is really the first time that we've seen Eddie with that Steinberger live, other than hearing it on the album. I love the added content that they add to this song. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where I said some of the songs could be a different variation than what they put on the album. So I think Summer Nights, that variation is probably one maybe that they jammed with the first time, but then they changed it up a little bit to make it fit on the album. Because you got to think sometimes they probably had to cut stuff up to make it fit. But I love the added variations they have to the song. The solo is incredible. The album version of this solo is off the charts, but this live version of the solo is in another stratosphere. So that's why I give it a 10 out of 10. Let's see, what else do I have here?
Bro, can you just hold that book up, please? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Neil wants to know what that book is, so can I just solo
it's the
you
Van
for
Halen
everyone?
Encyclopedia.
Go and get it. It's on Kindle. If you guys don't want to get the hard copy, it's available in digital.
Talking to CJ on Instagram, I think he said he gave up the rights to this book, so someone else may be selling it or have the copyrights to it. But I know he had in the works to do a third version, but it's a very expensive thing to write a book, and probably didn't have enough funds to finish it. So we still love version 1 and version 2. I actually bought version 1 like the week it came out. I remember seeing it on the Van Halen mailing list or one of those things that got sent home, and I ordered immediately. And I swear I read that thing night and day. So, all right, Summer Nights, 10 out of 10. I actually love the part where they're doing the harmonies together. The background vocals with Ed and Michael just prove that the stuff in the studio wasn't rigged. It's for real, and they pulled it off live.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Fruitcake.
Fruitcake.
What?
This tune, Summer Nights, the first time you hear it on the album, you love it. It was great live. It's this band at their best. Yeah. 10 out of 10 for Summer Nights. All day. All day.
All day and all night.
All day.
All day.
All day.
All day.
All day and all night. Summer nights.
Forever.
Here's the original version, guys.
Hold on. That's
Do you have this one, Tony?
No.
And CJ, if you're still in here, what year did this come out? Actually, I could probably look it up. I should send this to him and see if he would sign it for me. 99 is when this came out.
Awesome.
This thing's seen a lot of days. All right. Sorry, Brad.
It's okay.
Okay.
Brad.
Look, Summer Nights, I love the 5150 album. I love the version on there. I love hearing this song played live, and this is, such an exciting version of it on this DVD. And then, I don't know, it's like I said in the previous song, it's just a wonderful time for Van Halen. You can tell they're all having fun. Eddie's just smiling from ear to ear while he's playing. It sounds phenomenal. I have to look. It's one of my favorite songs on the album 5150 as well, and I have to give it like a 20 out of 10. It's never as good. There's so much excitement in this DVD, like for the songs, especially when they're playing the 5150 tracks. I find that they seem to be like so proud. You can tell they're like they're like parents of newborn children. They're out playing these new songs. You can see the excitement in what they're doing, and I love it. Andrew.
Like all great masterpieces, it's a thing of contrasts, isn't it? the opening track is a rocker, and you see these two guys running up and down, screaming around the stage, banging into each other, kicking up in the air, trading these licks, and it's just fantastic. And the second song, you've got this little guitar, this little cigar box guitar, just making this weird, wonderful sound that we've heard already on this album here, and we're just trying to work out, you know, 'cause visually, you know, you're trying to work out, how's this guitar doing this? Well, that's at least what, you know, I was thinking. And then, you know, so they've slowed the pace down into that second song. They're not, you know, bouncing off each other. They're just sort of like getting ready to unleash for more and more and more. I'm going to be with Brad on this. You know, I've got the easy job. I'm just going last, so I'm going to give it a 20 out of 10. 20 out of 10. 20 out of 10. Love it. Just, yeah, you know, love it. You hit the nail on the head, though, Rev, at the beginning. You know, seeing that Steinberger just blew me away, and still does.
Yeah, listening to 5150, I always wondered how he got that outrageous. I mean, I was 8 or 9 years old, so we'll call it noise out of that guitar back then. And then seeing him do it with that, I noticed that the whammy bar was larger and it was just different, and it had to be that guitar. And I remember seeing he used to, you know, he had a strip of duct tape on the top, and that's where he'd put his cigarette. And I always thought he was gonna hit his hand on the cigarette when he went down the neck. But yeah,
I had a
Poofs in the chat.
Awesome. I had a friend who had a court bass that was a little bit like that, and it was just like a weird thing. I remember just holding it because it was the closest thing that I could get to a Steinberger, and thinking, man, have you guys ever played one or held one or anything? It's funny. It's really strange, but yeah. Sorry for interrupting, Rev.
No, we're good. Our brother Rob Johnson has one. And he sold it, and then crazy enough got it back from the person he sold it to on eBay, but he'll never get rid of that thing. That's one of his favorite guitars. All right, staying in that motion with the GL2T, Get Up. So Eddie stayed with the same guitar from Summer Nights to here. I can't give every song a 10 out of a 10. So I'm going to give this one a 9 out of a 10.
We do. We do.
I'm being real. You guys are going to call me fanboy if I give them all a 20 out of 10 all the way down the gauntlet. So in my notes here, I say, how cool was it to see Eddie use that trans trim? The first riff, as he's strumming those cowboy chords, and he's going up and down on the bar, is just like goosebumps. It's awesome. And Tony, after I'm done, I'm going to ask you what it was like hearing that live, because I'm sure it didn't translate to the VHS or the DVD like it did seeing it in person, but I'm assuming it was badass. So you'll have to tell me before you rank what his tone sounded like live, especially on this song. But Sammy is completely fired up. He's spinning around and jumping. He's all over the place. And if you guys haven't seen Sammy live, that's his deal. When I saw him for the Balance Tour, he was literally climbing up rafters into an unsafe height, not tied off. And he's a bit of a spark plug when he's out on stage.
Yeah.
And this was kind of the beginning of seeing that. Because Dave was, spotlight on me. He liked to go on his tangents, talking and telling funny things. But Sammy was like, he was running around like a monkey. He was literally a monkey. And seeing that live on this was really cool. Once again, great, unbelievable background harmonies. I think Michael, this is the reason I give it a 9 instead of a 10. He went a little overboard with his harmonies, probably because I'm so used to the album version of Get Up that it just didn't sound right. But he was really showing off on how high he can sing. So after this tour, I don't believe they ever played Get Up again, which is a
Hey,
shame.
Warren.
Yeah.
And I think Sammy's doing it now with the circle. Apparently,
Oh,
Vic
really?
Johnson has a way of doing the guitar part without using a trans trim.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Tony, what was it like hearing Eddie play this? If you remember.
He got his tone,
Hmm.
of course, but it was weird watching him use the Steinberger,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it was brand new. So, but as far as Get Up goes, I love the album, but that is not the top track on my list.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I know that Ed needed the Steinberger on it also, and it came right after Summer Nights. But I'm going to have to give Get Up, for me, just the song itself, not its place in the show, but the song itself, a 7 out of 10.
Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
Tony.
You might have to time out soon.
Tony, you can lash me all you want about my rankings, but I would never do it to you. I'm a nice guy.
Just hold on, Brad. Hold on, Brad, because we got someone that's going to jump in and offer us a couple of his rankings on the tracks that we've already done, and he's going to be in the circle. So here he is, all the way from somewhere in North America. Los Angeles, LA. Here he is. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Nerd Halen.
What? I'm on?
You're on.
He's live. He's live.
I got to keep it down tonight. So
That's okay. It's okay. Good to see you,
How is
bro. Thanks for
everybody?
jumping in.
I'm glad you're not
Cool.
I'm glad you're not keeping it up. Bam.
yeah, yeah. What's up, everybody?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, man.
Hey, congratulations. Nice.
Oh, you done well, my son. Thank you.
And congratulations on the detune effect there, Brad.
Thank
Yeah,
Lovely
I've actually got to go learn those songs now.
It's a
Have you
lovely
seen those
gift.
pedals before, Caleb, or used them or tried them?
No, but I wish I had, because I just threw down for the Eventide micro pitch, so putting that on my board.
That's the ultimate if you
Yeah.
can't have the whole system.
Well, I was using the H9, and
okay.
but there's so much more to do with the H9, and I'm like, I don't use it for anything else, and I'm kind of can't. So I've been thinking about that micro pitch for a while, since they released it like in March or something. So Sweetwater. Anyway,
You should be able to sell that Boss for what it's worth if you want to get rid of it.
the Boss.
Yeah. Didn't you say you're using the H? Oh, what are you using now?
The H9 is an Eventide pedal also.
Oh, okay. It is pedal. All right.
And it
I was
has
thinking
that.
of
It has that detuner harmonizer effect, like in the program. It has a few Eddie presets in there, but it's got so much more. So now I can use. I'm freeing that up to use for delays and stuff. So,
I see.
I'm rebuilding the board 46 hours before my gig. I don't think that's smart, but we'll
Hey,
see
Steve
what
Anderson.
happens. Yeah. Anyway.
Steve-O. What's up, man?
List off the songs already that you guys talked about. I think you're on Get Up, right? So there's only 3 songs so far.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You give us
Okay.
your rankings if you want, and then we'll just jump you in after the rev for the rest of the show, Caleb, if that's okay.
Absolutely. And I just got to throw in that I saw this tour twice, the show twice in early July of 1986. I remember The first time I ever used a ticket broker, I think it was Barry's Tickets in Los Angeles, downtown. I had to go all the way downtown LA to some little hole in the wall, Barry's Tickets. And I paid $85 for an 8th row seat in 1986, which was a lot of money. But I had to be on the floor. I had to be close. And it was funny. I think I was almost 17. And my dad drove me down to the Forum, which is about, 15 miles from my house. And he parked and he bought a ticket for $30 and then came in and walked with me to my 8th row seat and stood next to me, and the lights went out and he stayed next to me for the whole show. So he got in for 30, and he was 8th row at this amazing show. It was incredible. And I brought I made it from butcher paper, a long banner, and duct taped the edges. And I wrote, LA loves the real Van Halen, which was what they were calling themselves, So at the time they were calling them, no, this is the real Van Halen. And so I waited for my moment, and I ran up the aisle, and I chucked this thing, and ran back to my seat before anyone could throw me out or whatever. And by the way, everyone's standing on their seats back in 1986. It was, the floor seats, and everyone's standing on them. It's crazy. And I got back to my seat, and I hoist myself up, and I turn around, and Eddie and Sammy are holding the long banner from, it's like, 10 feet, 12 feet long, and they're holding it from each side and turning around and showing the whole building, because there was no backdrop, so they had people behind the stage for that tour. And it was awesome. It was just amazing. And great show. And then what I noticed about that show was KMET, the local rock station, was doing ticket upgrades. If they saw you in the parking lot with wearing anything that said KMET, or they were gonna give you an upgrade to the floor. And I saw people winning that first night. So I bought like cheap seats for the next night, and I went with my buddy, and my mom suggested you should put a white sheet on cut 2 holes in it, and just have your head sticking out, and just have KMET and Van Halen written all over it. So we went to town with the spray paint and everything, and we walked around for 5 minutes, and we had 2nd row comps, and got on the radio. I wish I had that tape. My friend who went with me passed away in 1991, but it was a very special night. And when you're at 2nd row, that means you're front row, because you go right to the barricade, and you just you're there. Yeah. So I was front row, probably halfway between center and Michealanthony's mic stand. So nice. And it was insane. Like when they're sitting in the middle for Best of Both Worlds, the 3 of them are sitting right down center stage. I could reach out and touch them, and it was incredible. Great experience. Bigger than life. And I was really impressed. I mean, nobody knew how it was going to be. That was 1985 was the most unsure year in Van Halen history, because, towards the end of the year, first you knew that the band was over. And then you're like, how are they going to go on? And then you heard it was Sammy, and you're like, how are they going to go on? And the only thing that gave us hope was that Farm Aid little rock and roll thing. When Eddie does his solo, and he's finishing his solo, and he hits the tapping, the tapping harmonic, and finishes that run down the neck, and Sammy just turns and goes, shakes his head, and he's smiling, and like goes, woo! And you had a good feeling that we were going to go on, like we were going to continue. And the album obviously was impressive, and the tour was amazing. And like you said, the energy of the band on that tour was probably the best in the history of the band. They were just, you know, I mean, I never saw them in '78, so I'm not going to take anything away from that, because that energy was probably nuclear energy. You know, they had to be the best for that. That's how they made it. So, but yeah, it was fun. It was a fun night, and Live Without a Net, you know, I just wore that thing out, you know, and I'm happy that I had the whole experience. I did learn the hummingbird or the spasm or whatever from that tape, you know, from freeze framing that tape and copying his hand, you know, to right down to the, you know, the snaggly pinky, you know, that he does, and then just working it, and then, you know, working on that spasm forever. And it took a long time, but it was from that video. It's the first time I ever really saw him doing it and was able to, you know, rewind and pause and do all that. So great nights and great tour, great year. And I think One Way to Rock is an, you know, their version, and I've heard Jay say it. It's one of their best live performances ever. You know, their performance of that song is awesome, and to see them doing double leads and you know, every little lead fill that Eddie does, you know, on Live Without a Net in that song is just tits, and he's so comfortable and you know, top of his game, you know, in that. And obviously the solo, which we haven't gotten to yet, is probably the greatest guitar solo, extended guitar solo ever captured on film. Period. And so One Way to Rock is a 15. Summer Nights is a 17 for me, because the solo in Summer Nights, extended solo,
it's amazing,
insane solo. He just tore the place up with that. That was like, you think, you know, tonight's going to be special, and here's a little taste. You know, that solo is insane. And it's funny. It's a whole step up, I think, that solo. It's weird. You can see him if you try to play it. It's 2 steps or 2 frets away from standard. So I never knew that before until I tried to learn that. And
it's probably all feel, you know, he just went with his gut and went for it.
Yeah. Well, I think he clicked it, you know, in a different position for the solo. And yeah, that everybody wants a trans tram. It's my dream guitar is a Steinberger with a trans tram that, you know, I have to drop like $4,000, $5,000 for one. I'm just like, not gonna happen, but maybe someday. But yeah, incredible years. Those years, you know, it was only a few years after meeting him and getting into the band, and just, you know, started to get a little bit of mojo in my playing at that time. So, you know, it was just really cool to be there. And the video was life-changing, and it's life-changing for all of, you know, all of us nerds. Were, you know, a lot of people got into the band through this video, you know, through this very video. And I don't shame anybody for being late to the Van Halen party. I was late to the Dave era. I didn't get into it until, you know, halfway through Diverdown. Halfway through that year in '82, I kind of got into it, but then in '83 it just blew up for me. And obviously 1984 was the most anticipated album of my life, because he told me they were making it, you know, in his studio.
That'll do it.
And I wanted to hear that so bad. And then obviously this album was, you know, right up there with the anticipation to hear what they were going to do. So Get Up, you know, is frenetic and crazy and fast, and you know, not my favorite song from the band, so I'll give that an 8. You know, it's kind of a throwaway. It's just too much. You know, there's no soul in that song for me. but I do like the solo, and I like what he's doing with the whammy bar and that style that he's using. So I will defer. Was that long enough? Or there you go.
That was great. Thanks, Caleb.
Cheers.
Thanks for
Thank you,
joining,
brother.
Caleb.
Yeah.
I'm
My
not
pleasure.
alone.
You're never alone, Tony.
I'm not alone on Get Up.
Steve Anderson's in the chat. Steve, what's up?
Yeah, Steve. All right, Andrew. Did you do Get Up already?
No. So, look, I think I messaged you guys privately. It's not my favorite version of the song Get Up. I think you guys have already mentioned one of the reasons, well, some of the reasons why, this franticness of Sammy running around. It's certainly something that you have to appreciate from a crowd live perspective. It adds some credentials and credibility to the DVD as far as the performance goes, but rating the song, sonically through sound, it's not my favorite version, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 too. But it's never a skip.
What did you call the Andrew? What did you call this?
DVD.
Yeah, thank you. It's trying to time that while Caleb takes a bite.
Can you hear that?
All right. So since we're skipping the drum solo, we'll parlay right into the song 5150. It's now officially 5150 time. Man, I just love that. Because you guys know this is my absolute favorite Van Halen song of all times. So
Yep.
Having this version on Livewithoutanet is just perfect for me, considering how much I love this song. The band, again, is jumping all over the place. It's like they're re-energized, They had an outstanding and absolute amazing tour, 1984. But the band, the way they were on stage during this era, it was just different. It was a different energy. Not so much wild and crazy party. It was more like all the guys showed up for gym class and they were like going to run around the gym and they were playing dodgeball. It was just, I don't know, just a different type of energy, if you guys kind of know where I'm going here. But it was cool to see that energy on stage and capture it on film. The guitar solo, I mean, where do I start? Outside of the guitar solo on the tour, this has got to be number 2 as far as best guitar work on this show. He kicks in with that delay. It's just breathtaking. The lights go down and Sammy starts singing, and it's just, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. What is it? 2 minutes of solo on this song. And Ed gets, which is perfect, he gets the sheet that says Eddie is king. The timing couldn't be any better on that. But I give it a 10 out of 10, but we'll give it a 20 out of 10 since you guys are going off the Richter scales here on your numbers.
Well done.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then too,
Tony.
you can really you can hear the harmonizer big time on this this song.
Yeah.
Because he was amping it up. We heard it a little bit on Fair Warning, a little bit more on Diverdown, a little bit more on 84, and he really amped it up 86 time.
Caleb, you're next, and then it's Fruitcake Tony, and then Brad. So put your dinner down, brother. Put your dinner down.
Why are we going that way?
Oh, it's just the way it is.
Hey, he picked me. No,
Yeah, the toilets, they must flush a different way in New Zealand.
totally. Yeah. Probably the top moment on the DVD. As far as songs, just yeah, I mean it's perfect. It's a perfect song. Definitely one of my top 3 favorite Van Hagar songs is 5150. It's yeah, I mean the solo, the little mini cathedral part. He's just, when he's making it squeal, you could feel every part of his body is connected with that guitar. It's the only thing that ever bothered me about this era was the Simmons drums. Everything else is perfect. It's just those Simmons toms just always kind of made me go, yeah. But it's part of the era, and it's where it will stay. But this is a wonderful song. I'm sure they're very proud of it. I'm sure that's why they named it 5150. And it could have been just always one more, or something. And it's a top moment in the whole show. I'm surprised it was so early in the show. So
yeah,
but I mean, we know that there were like 4 more songs in that first stretch that they weren't in there. So, but 20.
Awesome, Caleb. Tony, Free Cake Tony, what do you got for us, brother?
All right. It may be the best song on the album. But that is the version of that song. Yeah.
Can you hear Tony? I can't. I'm just curious. Is there any way you
Couldn't
can
be any better. You can hear me
Yeah.
all right?
just pull that mic a little closer, bud? Half the distance.
How's that?
Good job.
Meet you halfway.
There you go. No,
Very good.
It may be the best song on the album. Hearing that live on that and knowing that as we know it makes me like the song even more. 10 out of 10. Easy 10. Easy.
Awesome,
Yeah.
bro.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Brad?
Well, I can't really say much more than what everyone else said, and it's the unfortunate part of coming this late in the rankings. But Andrew and I are just listening to these wonderful descriptions of the song. So rather than double up on everyone else's, I just love this song. It's definitely my favorite one on the whole DVD, and I have to give it a like 20 out of 10, 100 out of 10, whatever you want. It's the best one without doubt.
You've Brad scored it. Good to see you, bro. Good to see that you've done that. You've been consistent with your scores. Look, isn't it fantastic? The film footage, it just shows the crowd and that first layer up against the fence or the wall or whatever. Then it pans out and you see the crowd there all getting into it, and then it focuses on Eddie. He's on that top rung, and he's playing the intro, and he's just swaying from side to side. Didn't we fall in love with that? Didn't we just fall in love with that? Because it's a 7-minute song that just, he's just playing this riff effortlessly, and then he jumps down off that top rung and then, onto the proper stage, and then just, if we've been hypnotized, we've just been blown back into reality with the rest of the song. I have to agree with you guys. It's one of the standout performances ever by Van Halen in their history, in my opinion. Love the song, love the tone, the effortless playing, and I'm going to Brad score it 20 out of 20. 20 out of 10.
There you go.
There you go. CJ says most rewatchable song and best solo with a song EVH ever recorded on video. Wow, that's a lot coming from him. Thank you, CJ. And then Mike M. The The phasing verse is often overlooked. It's monstrous, 20 out of 10. Top 2 Van Hagar era song. Live Without a Net version is epic. So keep up the comments, guys.
Yeah.
And then Nelson's upset that we skipped the Simmons drum solo.
Yeah, Nelson's being contrary. He loves doing that.
All right. Best of both worlds. Once again, another one of my, I will call it top 10 Van Halen songs. Best of both worlds.
Easy.
Cool, super cool intro. The blues that Ed's playing while Sammy's singing along is awesome. I love it. It's fresh. It's new. The band doing their dance and their strut, the iconic head bob and arm tap and foot tap is awesome, which they kind of repeated throughout the years. That was kind of their signature thing that they did during this song. And it's kind of cool to hear Caleb talk about them sitting on the step of the stage, because I wondered if that was just something they did on that show, but it sounds like they did it regularly. And I thought it was really cool that Sammy and Ed were sitting down and Michael walks by and Sammy grabs Michael and pulls him down to sit with him. And
yeah, I think that was the only choreographed song on the tour in the show, but that was all very choreographed. So,
right. But the piece where Sammy grabbed Michael and sat him down, I don't know, it was one of those things that it speaks 1,000 words without saying anything. Because we all know that Sam and Michael were pretty tight, especially the fact that, Eddie and Alex were blood thicker than water. He had to find someone in the band, and him and Eddie were like, they call each other best friends. But I think Sammy really gravitated to Michael, and I thought it was cool that he sat him down like, hey, you're part of this band too. Join us. And I don't know if the prior singer would have done that. Not being controversial or trying to say anything about Dave, because I love Dave, but I don't know. It just kind of speaks to who Sammy was. Maybe I'm blowing something up more than it is, but what do you think, Caleb?
Is it me?
No. I'm just thinking, am I overthinking it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Mike forgot that night. He was supposed to sit down.
Yeah, maybe too much Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
But anyway, I love the cohesiveness of the band. I think this song was a showcase. Whenever they showed clips of Live Without a Net, they always showed them doing the strut across the stage doing this song. So I can't rank it any lower than a 10 out of 10. Yeah. And then the spray paint on the shoes, you can't forget about the whole storyline between the shoes coming on stage. And I'm wondering, how the heck did people get spray paint into a concert? And why would, I know people were painting the sheets with, their sayings and stuff, but I don't know. I just think it's crazy that someone actually smuggled a couple paint cans into the show. But as you guys all know, that was Sammy's kind of gig, was taking the memorabilia off what was thrown on stage and showcasing it, wearing it, tossing it around. That was kind of his thing, which was we all saw really for the first time during this VHS. So 10 out of 10, best of both worlds. And I love when Eddie turns the volume down and does the plucking, and they do their thing, stop the song a little bit, and Sammy does his antics. I love it. I think it's great. So to you, Caleb.
Oh, well, the the call and answer part in the beginning, I think it was directed at Roth. Because that's like, Eddie and Dave would do that. They did that a lot over the years on tours. And I think Eddie was like, now look, now check out the call and answer, And yeah, it's It's pretty impressive. His voice, and you know, I mean, the cool thing about this tour, and you guys have said it before, and you said it 2 weeks ago, they had to be on their A game. They just had to be on their A game. It was life or death for the band if they half-assed it or mailed it in, and they went above and beyond what anyone thought was possible. You know, it was so this song, you know, really showed the connection between the members and you know how much they were digging in each other, you know. And I think it's one of the more overplayed songs, so it kind of gets lost, you know. You kind of go but when you sit down and listen to this song again, and by the way, we're doing it on Sunday night.
Yeah,
it's a really good tune, and there's some really cool guitar parts, and there's a really cool feel to it, and the vocal and the melody, really well constructed song. And I like the 3 verses, and you know, the shape of it. I love how he strums the last verse instead of does the normal verse picking part. He just does the little strum on it, and there's a lot of little things he's doing, you know, with basically the same riff and the same kind of part, and he just dances around it like he always does. But he does it more in this song than he does in a lot of other songs, where he's using the same things, but he's just doing what he does, and it all works because of that feel. You know, he saves his ass with that feel. You know, he really does. Every time you think he's gonna make a mistake or fall out of rhythm or whatever, it's impossible. The feel is so good, so perfect, and it's demonstrated on this song. And I love that it was recorded with a Strat, and I love the tone of it, and I love how the 5150 guitar, you know, did it justice on this recording. So
good point.
You know, it's 10 out of 10 for me.
I think, Caleb, we're all waiting for you to say never a skip, mate.
I heard that was already copyrighted, and I just didn't want to get dinged or flagged for it.
Well done, Caleb. Well done. Fruitcake Tony, what have you got for us, brother?
All right, the best of both worlds. Loved the song on the album. One of the best songs on the record. Loved it immediately. But that live version with the trade-off at the front, how can you not love that version? Yeah.
Well said.
10 out of 10 all day, every day. Yeah.
10.
10.
10 out of
Easy
10.
10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, never a skip.
What do you got?
Well, it's me, Andrew. It's up to me.
Yes, brother.
Yeah?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, all right. Best of both. Well, you know, everyone's pretty much summed it all up. Caleb, you know, you sort of summed up everything I had. So I think you've been reading my my thoughts on this song. But I love this song. I always loved this song on the album, but the live version of it, you know, I kind of wish that there was an official release like a CD version of this. You know, that I could have had in playing in my Walkman for all those years. So I used to put it on cassette and listen to it in my Walkman. You know, used to have the RC out into the tape recorder and do it that way. And I know it's around. There's audio of it around now, but you know, back in the day when I was growing up, it would have just been great to be able to put in my Walkman properly in my Discman and listen to it. But for me, it's the definitive version of the song. And I love the energy like I said before, and I keep repeating, it was just a wonderful time for the band, and they display that on stage. The call and response thing at the start, I mean, that's pretty mind blowing stuff there, you know. And they were on top of their game. So yeah, 20 out of 10 for me. Never a skip.
Yeah. Just the fact that the three of them are doing that walk on the stage is just kind of cool. Still now, you know, how many years has this DVD, this recording been out? 35 years, something like that. 30.
34 and a half, yeah.
34 and a half years, Caleb, you know, and it blew me away when I was a young fella watching it, and it still does today, because as you guys have already said, it just sums up this tightness, this cohesiveness that they had, and, you know, we caught it. We caught it. That wasn't fakery. There's no fakery going on there. It's real. 10 out of 10 for me. Rev.
No fakery. So Warner Brothers.
No fakery.
Warner Brothers has the masters to this because they're the ones that produced it. So they should, and we've talked about this before, but they should put audio for this sucker. They should also, Caleb, do a Blu-ray version with all the songs, maybe some alternate shots, and then also put what's the Unleashed on there as well. How cool would that be? Have both of them on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it would sell, wouldn't it?
A lot of lawyers involved with that. So, you know,
yeah, unfortunately,
and not a lot of people pushing for it inside the camp. So I wish, you know, I don't know who is left to advocate for stuff like that. You know, I mean, I really don't know. I know Sammy's doing a bunch more Van Hagar songs, and I don't know if it's because it's fun or because it's ticket sales. I don't know, but
the time's right. Yeah,
you know, it's God, you know, we want it all. We want a dump of everything, you know, everything they have in the can, you know. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll get it. I don't know if we'll see anything. I don't know. It feels like we'll never see anything. We'll never hear anything. It feels like they're just going to drift off, you know, and that's kind of sad. But it's
Dreams
also
and stuff.
Yeah, but it's also we all had it. We all experienced it, and it's ours. So I'm just happy I got to be part of it. You know, I'm glad I lived at the same time, and I was old enough and grew up on that stuff, because it's the best.
I mean,
it's not even a question. I mean, we're all Asperger's with this shit, but it is the best stuff. It is the best quality stuff there is. And, that kid said it best. So it's
right on, brother.
Nothing comes close. And it's funny because all the other artists, they just know when it comes to the best band of all time, it's this band. So it's hard to argue.
Yeah, you hear Zakk Wylde, and you know, back when Dime was still alive, but the brothers, you hear John Mayer, they all talk about Livewithoutanet.
Right. And you think Dime is thinking, oh, that's my music. No, but he knows it's the best. He knows.
Yeah.
Nobody did it better.
Yep.
Nobody will.
All right, moving on to Panama. I listened to a great interview with Sammy, and I looked all over to try to remember what show it was on, but he actually talked about preparing for this tour, and he gave pushback on singing Dave era songs. And the band only had what they had on 5150. They didn't have enough content to do a full show. So Ed Leffler, being the genius that he was, told Sammy, hey, this is where we capitalize on this, and we meet in the middle. We do 3 Dave era songs, and we make them do 3 Sammy era songs. It'll help your sales for your albums. Like, don't look at it as, hey, you're have to do Dave era songs. Let's use it as leverage to do some of your solo stuff to help your record sales. So that's why Sammy was so open to doing the Dave era stuff. Yeah. I got to find the interview, so I'll send it to you guys. But it was pretty interesting hearing his take on him being okay doing the Dave era stuff, because he knew in return he could do some of his solo stuff. You know,
I would have loved to have heard the Inside live. By the way, that's a song that's never.
That was the only one they didn't do. Right.
It's seen the light of day. You know, they recorded it, and that's it. And you know, it was done on the Steinberger.
Yep.
So I mean, why not? But I guess not. I guess they couldn't duplicate the talking vibe or whatever, which really is a big part of the song. So,
well, they could have done an instrumental version of it and then just had some ad-lib stuff that they did on stage. It would have been cool, you know?
Yeah.
The guitar parts in that song, if you listen to them, are outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people skip that track, but you got to look at it in a different mindset. But
with a another great solo, underrated. So
yeah,
definitely. So Panama. Let's see. I give Sammy props for doing the David Lee Roth era stuff, because Dave never did the Sammy stuff, and I don't want to get into that because it's a big Pandora's box and can of worms. But
it is.
I thought it was cool that he did it, and I think later on he started having people sing Jump and things like that. So you could tell it was a little bit uncomfortable for him, but he did it. I think Panama was probably one of the better ones he did, along with Ain't Talking About Love. Jump, wasn't some of Sammy's best performance live, but Panama was pretty good. I thought the band sounded great on the live version of this. It was cool hearing him do it, and I give it a 7 out of 10. So.
Oh,
me?
Yes, you sir.
Are you guys going to crucify me for giving it a 7 out of 10?
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting hearing it in
Pretty
standard.
low, bro.
Yeah, it's interesting hearing it in standard tuning. It's it's one of their best songs ever, arguably. Ted Templeman's favorite 2 songs are "Ain't Talking About Love" and "Panama," and that's what he's most proud of when it comes to Van Halen, which is crazy to me. But that's what he thinks are the 2 best songs he ever did with the band. So, or at least his favorites. But Panama is a fantastic song, beginning to end. Every part of the song is stellar in its recording. And they need filler. So what are they going to take? They have to do their number 1 hit, and they have to do a song that was still very popular at the time. It was only 2 years old when they did this recording, this video. Obviously their performance of it was great. It's a little strange to hear Sammy sing Dave stuff, I'm not going to lie. But we got used to it. It's an obvious reason why Dave never did Sammy's stuff. There's a range issue and an ego issue. And I commend Sammy for just doing that, biting the bullet and doing it. But yeah, he's a smart guy, and this is good music. He never said that Dave era stuff wasn't good, because you can't. And I'm glad they found a singer that was open to doing that, because that made it more comfortable for all of us as fans,
right,
to accept him and just accept what had happened, which was devastating to all of us. If you were a fan of Van Halen when Dave was in the band and you heard that Dave left, it was very, very devastating. And so I give the song a 9 out of 10 just based on that it's Panama. So next,
Tony.
Me now.
Thank you, Caleb.
Panama has to be a obvious pick that he's gonna sing of Roth era songs. I would think, you know, a newer song. It had been done live in the past also, and he did great on it. He can sing, you know. And that particular live version of it is awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Just because it is a Roth era song.
Awesome. Appreciate that, Brad.
Well, I'm going to have to give it. I love hearing this song played, whether it's with Dave or Sammy. I always love this song. One of my, all-time favorite David Lee Roth era songs. And I've got to say, Sammy did an amazing job to let go of some ego and do that. And I think he tried to do it his own way, in a sense, without stepping too far away from it. Because I think if he stepped away from it too far, then it might have gone against him and the fans would have turned on him. But I think I also think he did it, justice, because he had admiration for the three guys he was on stage for. He had a love for those guys, and they put only one way to rock. They put their spin on it, but they played it amazingly. And I think maybe he just wanted to feel reciprocated and do it the same justice, in my opinion. I love hearing Sammy sing it, like I said, Dave sing it. I have to give it 10 out of 10. There's so much energy in this version of it. And I kind of agree with Caleb that it does sound weird in standard tuning instead of half a step down. But after the first little run through of it, by the time it sort of kicks in with the drums, like, the song kicks in, it sort of, you get used to it. You kind of adjust to it a little bit. But yeah, definitely a great choice for them to continue playing that. I mean, like Caleb said, it was a big song for them. It was only 2 years old at that time. 1984 was a big album for them. It'd be silly not to have done it, really. So 10 out of 10 for me.
Awesome.
Yeah. Look, I can't add much, obviously, to what you guys have said. I always thought it was interesting that they picked that song, and I'm glad that you guys mentioned it, that it's only 2 years after it became an international hit. It's one of their most famous songs here in New Zealand. When that album and that song was dominating popular radio, everybody, all the chicks, everybody was into Panama. It was just an amazing song. It dominated everything. And then for these guys to record it and sing it a couple of years later, I don't know. I've got a couple of questions I just want to throw out there to you guys. It was either a brave move, or potentially, a disaster. And I don't know how they discussed that, because I could see it being a disaster because, as Brad and Caleb had already said, it was already close and closely related to David Lee Roth, So, but I think the reason why they ran with it is because it was such a great pop song. And no disrespect to Van Halen, because we've spoken about this and we've said this before. Yet, they're masters at creating pop songs, and that's not a slur. That's a great thing. And I think the virtue of the song being a great song is what carried them through for Sammy to take it to another place. Is it a better place? I don't know, but it certainly sits and fits well in the DVD. It's got that party vibe, guys. It's never a skip. Love this version. Rev.
Real quick, I mean,
ahead.
sorry,
ahead.
Ed did it on David Letterman, and Paul Schaefer's keyboard. Leslie was singing lead on it,
Yeah.
and it was still good. Still great, still amazing. So I think that just shows you how powerful it is and how powerful the guitar tone in that song is. It's top notch, right? As you say,
Top notch. 10 out of 10.
His tone on that song, especially during the breakdown, is, I mean, if you want someone to get a class on tone, that's it right there. The breakdown of Panama. Just have someone listen to that. Go, this is why he was the best. This is why he sounded the best. Just listen to that. So
Caleb, did you see the Letterman live?
Yes, I recorded on VHS and studied it and wore that sucker out too. Both his appearances on Letterman, I was ready for and recorded, and even tried to cop each, because it was always going away to commercial or coming back from commercial, except for the one time where they had him play Panama. So when the first time he was on the show in the spring, which is funny because he's sitting with the band and Letterman says, is David Lee hard to be around?
Yeah.
He basically was out of the band at that time. So Eddie was just, he picked up his guitar to hide behind it, and it was funny, but all the coming back and going away to commercial, I learned every little thing they were doing, every little riff he was doing. That one was and you could just hear his tone, and it's just like, oh my God, why can't they stay? But they go to a stupid commercial. But I learned that riff right away, and which is some old song. I don't even know what song that is, but it was I think the power of the song and just his guitar sound in it outweighs who's singing it, period.
Mike, he in the chat, he watched it live too. I wonder if all the stuff that was being played during the commercial, if that is anywhere. Does anyone have footage of that? Was stuff recorded?
NBC, probably.
NBC.
Yep.
So that would be cool to see. That'd be another one. I mean, the list.
Yeah, another vault release would be awesome to see that. Because there's probably maybe 7 commercial breaks per hour. So maybe there's like 14, 15 different songs he played with the band during those commercial breaks. So
yeah, and those guys usually do a cameo appearance, and Eddie stayed the whole time, and he played with the band the whole time. Like how humbling of him to do that. I mean, he's doing it because he loves to do it.
And Schaefer, put up the message, my favorite all-time person to play with.
Oh, I missed that.
When Eddie passed, he put that up on his Facebook. My favorite all-time person to play with.
Nice.
Wow.
And he's smoking too on stage there, and I wonder if that wasn't allowed back then. He's Eddie. You just gotta let him do it.
Everything was allowed, I think, back then.
Oh, yeah.
Weren't doctors still smoking in 1985?
That's when they had ashtrays in the courthouse, right?
Yep.
You can't even take a lighter in there now.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, CJ says the Letterman footage is lost, unfortunately. So he would know. Interesting. So Caleb, you know who that is?
No.
That's CJ from Van Halen Encyclopedia.
Oh, wow. Hi, CJ.
Yeah, we're gonna have. He said he would join the show one of these weeks, so we'll definitely, Andrew. We need to figure out a time where we can have him on.
Anytime, CJ, you have a permanent invitation to the 5150 show. Come on and talk about anything you want, brother. We would love to have you here.
Yeah.
Stay as long as you want. Whatever. All right, moving on. Love walks in. You guys know I love the alien story that Sammy has behind the reason why he did this song. I think it's very fascinating and it's a cool story. And I love how he brings it up at the beginning of the song. I love the red Kramer Beretta that he's playing. I thought it was really cool that he adopted the brand that Eddie was backing. I'm sure Eddie gave him that guitar, but I thought it sounded great. He did sing a little bit off key in a couple parts of the song, but I think overall with Eddie on the keyboards and Sammy, doing his version of the solo, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. And I guess I'll ask Tony and Caleb to make sure you guys include what was Eddie's synthesizer sound like live, because on the DVD or the VHS, it doesn't sound very strong. It just doesn't come through. And I'm just wondering, live, was it
I remember
powerful?
it very loud that year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think they probably could have amped it up a little bit more. I would have gave it a 10 out of a 10. And man, Sammy's solo, he played it. He played it by heart. He just kind of did his own thing. Didn't obviously match the album. So I thought it was cool that Sammy didn't just copy Eddie's solo. He kind of did what he thought fit the song at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't remember the power of the keyboard that night or those nights. I wish I did, but I'm sure it was super loud, just like everything else. These concerts were stupid loud, especially indoors. And I thought Sammy did it justice. The solo, definitely, he made it his own.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's one of Ed's most beautiful solos. I think he recorded it on a 59 Les Paul front pickup, and it's a good moment in the video because it's a beautiful tune, and when new songwriters get together and write beautiful music, there's something very special about that. And
it's a masterpiece.
I think I think Ed's the alien, and
there you go.
And their connection when he came into jam with the band is basically the story of the song. Like it has that energy to it for me. It seems like it's the story of wait for the opening, the opening in the in the lead singer position,
Wow.
stuff like that. That's what I get out of it. So
it kind of did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, Caleb.
It's a great song.
Landmine.
We
What a
need the
landmine of
controversy.
analysis.
I love it.
Oh, I got a bunch of them. So go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah,
Keep them
10
coming.
out of 10. Great,
Awesome.
Great moment. Every concert, every video needs a slow one with feeling, and it's not cheesy at all. Like that song is easily could be placed in the cheesy category because it's not their thing.
It's a fan favorite though.
But when they did that, you had to just tip your hat and go,
"Oh yeah,
that's a beautiful song, and it's really well played. There's a lot of feeling in it and emotion. The melodies are great. It's just a good song, and nobody can argue with a good song. Who cares? Good song.
You
good
guys
song.
heard it here first. Eddie is the alien, and and the opening is the new lead singer. Outstanding. Thank you, Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
Fruitcake.
fruitcake, it's on me."
It's on you, brother.
Follow that one, Tony.
Love Walks In. Love Walks In came on the album at a really cool time to slow things down, and it did live also. but they weren't known to have songs like that. They had I'll Wait, but nothing slow like that. Great song on the album and great song live. Well done live. Easy, a 10 out of 10. Easy.
Yeah. Look, it's an amazing song. It's one of my favorites on 5150. You could think it's a cheesy song because of the like Caleb said, the way that it could categorize in that, but I'm not going to even try and compete with what Caleb said. So it's hard to follow Caleb and then Fruitcake Tony and the Rev. So I'm just going to give it a 10 out of 10. I love the performance. It's a great performance, and what can I say? Sammy did a great job. I love the Right Here, Right Now version of it as well. I love all the versions I've heard of it live, and but I still go back to the album version as being magical.
Yeah, just that snare at the beginning, the crack, like just perfect sounding snare drum, obviously, and recorded right there, perfectly. So yeah,
Andrew.
Oh, guys, it's one of life's great pleasures is being on shows, co-hosting bits and pieces like this with other guys and picking up on things. It's one of the great things that we like about it and sharing the information. But I think Caleb's analysis is remarkable, and I can't add much, as Brad said, to that other than we got to see Eddie play keyboards, which was really cool. It was really good, to see him. We saw that on the jump video, but we knew that he was miming that. So from that perspective, seeing him play, I'd trade Sammy playing the guitar on this song for me to, 34 and a half years ago to see Eddie play keyboards and have a big smile on his face when he's doing it. Loved it. Blew me away. 10 out of 10. Rev.
Yeah. And it's their first stone cold ballad, from Van Halen. I mean, Little Dreamer, kind of a ballad, but this is like fucking ballad. Here you go. This is a ballad. What do you think? Van Halen's doing a ballad. Check it out.
Throw the bras on stage.
Yeah.
And they nailed it too. Nailed
They
it.
sure did.
Oh,
Yep.
and
They sure did, Tony.
Val's favorite song. She loved this thing. Like, she made Eddie listen to the lyrics.
Because she knew it was about him.
At least the music. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guitar solo. God, where do I start? I mean, this really, we could go.
How about just a moment of silence?
Well said.
It's just not even. There's nothing to say that hasn't been said. But go ahead. Sorry.
All right, that was my moment of silence.
Very good.
The smoke rings, Eddie blowing the smoke rings. I know it's a tough thing to talk about since, in passing, but that was pretty iconic at the age of 9 years old. He was like an alien, or a major celebrity to sit there and blow smoke rings. That was really cool. Doing the 316 intro with no pick, plucking that was phenomenal. I remember when I got the Forunlawfulcarnalknowledge album, I immediately went back to when I heard that song. I'm like, oh, this is Livewithoutanet. I put the 2 and 2 together, which was really cool. And then just him integrating the eruption and cathedral. The big one for me is seeing the trick, and I don't even know what you call it, Caleb. Maybe you can help me, but where he was doing the finger slides on the neck. I don't think we'd ever.
Fingers? You mean the 2 fingers?
Yeah. Where he's sliding it like this.
Right.
We'd never seen him do that before. At least live or in any videos. So, and he eventually took that into a bunch of songs in OU812, and I'm sure some more after that. But that was really cool seeing him, doing that, finger slide on the fretboard. Of course, Cathedral, sitting down, he was just letting it loose. Like Caleb said, it's probably the best solo ever captured on camera. And if you look at the views, I'm not sure how many it is now, but millions of views on YouTube, that solo, millions of views. So obviously it's an iconic piece of history that we all were able to experience, and Tony and Caleb to see it live. I'd just like to shake your hand because you were able to witness it. So really cool. I can't even rank this. It's, infinity out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. It has everything. We've talked about on Johnny's show. There's a lot of things he created and introduced to us all, and I think it was winding down at this point. There's not much more for him to innovate as far as a style, and it was kind of just a collection of all of it. He didn't go tabletop like he did the previous tour, which was really intense, actually. But that's like the only thing missing, I think, from it is the tabletop stuff.
I don't think he needed it.
But yeah, the 316, which obviously wasn't 316 yet. We all know Eddie likes to rehash old stuff. But, the story is in 1986 that Val was pregnant and she had a baby bump, and he was playing this to the baby bump, and they had a miscarriage. So anybody that gets on Wolf for that song not really being about him is bullshit, because Eddie picked up his old song when another baby bump was there.
It's their thing.
And then he played it for the new baby bump, and that baby obviously became what it became. And it's a beautiful piece of music with a remarkable tone to it. The tone in that piece of the solo where he's half volume on his guitar and finger picking and in total control. And they cut out the blues jam, and I was kind of a bummer, because I remember the blues jam was probably the best part of the 1984 solo besides the tabletop stuff. The blues jam they did, I believe in G, was insane. And they kind of redid it on the 5150 tour also, but they cut that out. You can hear just the little end of it that they left. But yeah, there's a compression on his sound. You can really hear it when he's playing the upper register notes. There's this like really interesting compression on his sound that I've never been able to find or duplicate, and have always wanted to. It's as good a sound that's ever been recorded from him from a live event. Yeah, every part of the solo is perfect, and I think it's amazing that it all came together while there's a $1 million film crew in the house, which is not easy to do. And obviously we know they were partiers, and there's lots of things being consumed. But look what they were able to do that night. Look what he was able to do that night with that solo, and he set the world on fire again, again for the 89th time. So it's like I said earlier, it's something I've watched more than anything I've ever watched in my life. That solo, and I've learned so much from it. I still get people asking me how I do the hummingbird or the spasm or tremolo picking, which I don't even understand why it's called tremolo picking, but it's a hard technique to get. Some of the best Van Halen players out there still can't do it. And I'm proud of what I can do with it. And it came from years and years of doing it. It didn't happen overnight. I religiously practice this technique constantly. And what people don't understand about it is there's a stamina involved with it. That anyone can do the move, but to continue it gets tiring on your forearm and wrist. You can't keep it up. And to see him do it for as long as he does it was obviously inspiring for me. So, changed my life again. My life had already been changed, but then it was changed again after seeing that. So, 100 out of 10.
I think they called it tremolo picking after the tremolo effect versus like
I don't hear the tremolo effect. I just hear rapid fire. So
right.
I just
maybe the tremolo effect all the way up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Caleb,
yeah,
machine gun picking's better than tremolo picking, isn't it? Jeepers, I agree
I like
with
the
you.
hummingbird. I like butterfly. I've heard butterfly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
machine gun.
I call it
tremolo,
spasm. I call it spasm picking
spasm.
because that's what he called it.
Yeah.
That's the only way he referred to it, was a spasm, controlled spasm. So
the other piece too, Tony, real quick. This was really the time where they zoomed in on the 5150. There were a few times in all the songs before where it was really short, but this was actually where you could seriously look at the guitar, see the details in it, the beat, how beat up it was. You could see the dirt, in between the bridge pickup and
he'd only had the guitar for 2.5 years or 3 years at that point, probably, and a little more than 3 years, and it probably played it 10 hours a day every day.
Wow.
At least, so
yeah, and you just see that it's worn like the real worn way, and
right, and it wasn't even like a third of the way to being worn, like to where it was getting. So yeah,
that thing is
toast.
Thank you, Caleb. Free Cake Tony, you saw the solo live too.
Yeah. I did a couple of times, but you can look at the shows on this tour and you can look at the solos of those shows, and this year Eddie was on another level than years prior and years later. You can listen to the solo from 82 or 84 or 95, and the 86 is always the best. They were just at their peak, and Ed, as a player, was, in my opinion, at his very best that year. His very best. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, my God, that is, I mean, it is the greatest piece of live music in the world. A million out of 10, absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. Brad?
it's a really difficult one to give a ranking. Definitely, everyone's sort of given such a great description of it. The only thing I'm going to sort of elaborate on and touch on that, you know, watching it made me realize, you know, the techniques he was using to get the things that I never really understood what he was doing. So I was watching him do these techniques in awe, and knowing full well that I was always going to struggle to ever be able to do anything like that, if that makes sense. It was like one of those things, that realization point of going, wow, this guy is gifted. He's tapped into the instrument. It's not just playing. It's actually like a harmonic connection between him and the guitar. And there's just an effortless, like playing there. It's just, that's not like he's even trying. He's just doing it. It's what comes natural to him. Obviously spend hours and hours and hours of playing a day, no doubt. But, you know, I do know players that have played hours and hours and hours a day and don't play anything like Ed. So it's one of those things. I think he just was, you know, given to the world to see what could be done on guitar and write music that we all love. And it's you know, watching livewithoutanet for the first time after he passed away was really difficult, because you're seeing stuff that took you back to, you know, all the stuff you loved hearing. And throughout all the songs, like he's playing a lot of those techniques in there. And I just have to give the song, you know, probably 100 out of 10, whatever. It's not really a song in a sense. It's really just him expressing himself on guitar, in my opinion. Andrew.
Yeah, look, I can't add much other than, you know, like all of us Van Halen nuts, it was the first time that we saw Eddie ever play any of this stuff live. And we've mentioned it before, Caleb, Fruitcake, Tony and Kurt, on previous shows, that Brad and I didn't get a lot of the information that you guys got in America. We didn't get a lot of the footage or the videos. So this video VHS was crucial for us. And I remember the night when we, you know, my mates and I got the opportunity to watch it, and this is no bullshit. And I know that sometimes when we tell stories, they get embellished over years, but this is a true story. We sat and watched that guitar solo at least 3 times, you know, replayed it, because it was jaw-dropping for guys in their, you know, late teens, early 20s to watch this. And Caleb and Brad and Fruitcake Tony and the Rev have said it, you know, it's a go-to piece, isn't it? It's the core of the whole DVD for Van Halen nuts. And the fact that the Rev and Caleb have said that they've picked up traits for their own playing over the years just goes to show how influential it is. It's never a skip. I just adore it. It's one of the best guitar pieces ever on YouTube. 1,000,000 out of 10.
Cool. Thank you, Andrew. All right. I Can't Drive 55. Another Sammy Hagar solo song. I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Actually, not one of my favorite Sammy era songs, but I thought on this live performance, they did a great job. The tandem guitar was perfect. Hearing Eddie's rhythm. This is another song that you can really hear his wet, dry, wet mix on his guitar tone, especially if you, you know, track it against Sammy's album version. It's totally has its Eddie-esque to it. So I thought it was cool, you know, hearing Eddie play rhythm on this song. And of course, I talked about it earlier. Sammy is all over. He's up in the rafters. He's all over the stage. doing his thing, getting the crowd fired up. But yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. Great performance, just not one of my favorite songs. So 7 out of 10 is respectable.
Awesome. Ned Halen.
Yes. Oh,
Would you
my
like
turn?
to tell? Yeah. Would you like to tell us what you think of Can't Drive 55?
Can't Drive 55. I was just reading some of the chat, trying to make sense of it. I not one of my favorite songs. Not to diss Sammy. There weren't a lot of Sammy songs I was fan of pre Van Halen. I remember 3 Lock Box and thinking, wow, this is a terrible, terrible song. And I'm not into this. So when I first heard the name Sammy Hagar as a rumor to be the singer, I thought about 3 Lock Box.
I don't like that song either.
And but obviously it didn't matter. But yeah, it's not might be a skip for me. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. I think the song was tremendously overplayed, and it was because of the video. It was like one of the better videos of the time, but not my cup of tea. So
We got a skip in the house.
I got to skip. Sorry.
Might be. He said it might be fruitcake.
Yeah, might. I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6.
Yep. I gotta be on par with you there. Anyway, fruitcake.
All right, I Can't Drive 55. Not a terrible song, not the ideal song I would think he would bring to Van Halen. I would think heavy metal or Your Love Is Driving Me Crazy, something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I would think. So after knowing this song, I Can't Drive 55, I'm not going to give it a skip because I like the song. I mean, but I'm going to have to say a 5 out of 10 on this. I think they could have chose a better, older Hagar song.
Yep. Good point.
And not that. But yeah. So it's a 5, and that's it.
Well, I must be a bit of a weirdo or something because I don't mind the song. I actually like the performance. I really enjoy the guitar playing in it. I think it's pretty cool. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'm going to go against the grain a little bit. But I think because watching this DVD, I like the run of it as well. I like the way the songs play into each other and everything as well. Maybe standalone song. If you would just play it to me as a standalone song, I probably wouldn't quite have the same effect, maybe, to me. But I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Andrew.
Oh gosh, it was never my favourite guys on the DVD and the VHS when it came out. Never, and over the years when I got into Sammy, I agree with Fruitcake Tony. I think they could have done better songs. They could have picked better songs, and if there's a flop or something close to a flop on this DVD or recording, this could be it. I'm going to agree with Caleb. It could be a skip. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Only because of the video performance. So
skip.
I
got a shirt that says that.
Never.
You bastard. Never a skip. Could be. But look, it's weak in the context of all the other songs on the album, and over the years, I can't work it out, guys. Maybe it's just I don't know. I don't know what it is I don't like about it, but yeah, the performance on the and live performance gives it that 1 point, so it's 6 out of 10. Rev, are you showing
All
something, Rev? Do you want to show something?
I was just showing Caleb. I just put the black.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, nice.
For the 5150. That's what I bought these for. Was for that guitar. So I just threw them on.
So put on.
Yeah, I got
5150.
I got to sew them
Maybe
into
50.
this. I got those banjo straps that he used.
Yeah.
But it's got a plastic clasp on it. So I gotta.
Someone.
I got these but I gotta do some sewing, and I'm not a good sewer.
Does your mama sew?
Does my mama
have sew that?
What do you got there?
All right.
Show us what you got. Show us your 5150, baby. Oh, look at that.
And I have the
handcrafted.
I got the picks.
I
had these made. Let me pull the.
Could dirty up that neck.
I know. I need to. It's done natural, but it actually looks really clean on here. But I do need to dirty it up. I don't play it enough.
Get dirty like this.
Oh.
Look at that dirt.
Where's that
yeah,
dirt?
let's see Caleb's. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's a beautiful thing.
Are you a mechanic? You just come in from work when you're working on the trucks and cars or something, and you just grab your guitar.
No,
Really?
it's basically I'm too lazy to change strings. So
yeah,
that's the secret to getting your guitars like this. If you don't change your strings for months, the grime on the strings is what causes it. So it's the grime.
Oh, does it smell?
Yeah.
Have a sniff.
No, it doesn't smell.
It smells like home. Yeah. And
I would know if it smelled, I'd fucking clean it. Trust me that.
And Eddie, he really didn't change strings unless one broke, right? That's what I've read. That he didn't really like to change strings.
Not at home.
Broke.
I think.
Yeah.
Not
unless
at home.
He was playing live.
Yep.
Yeah.
And his guitar tech would do it.
Yeah. All right, where we at?
Wow.
Ain't talking about love.
Yes.
This song comes from I Can't Drive 55. They kind of parlay into this one, right? If my memory corrects me. Never a scrub. I love how they merge the two songs together. For some reason, I think they always use Ain't Talking About Love to either parlay into another song or to do, Dave used to do his rants or raps during Ain't Talking About Love. So they kind of did the same thing with Sammy here. I kind of wish we could have seen Eddie switch to the GL2T because apparently he broke a string, right? Was it in the middle of the song or before the song? Does anyone know?
It's about halfway in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they would show this like trade off on the guitar. That would have been cool.
Hey, Simon.
But I thought it was cool hearing him towards the tail end of the song use that guitar on that version of this song because he's like, I got this guitar, I might as well use the Transtrim. But I thought Sammy did a pretty good job doing this song, so I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Never a skip.
Yep. Another song brought up the standard with a different vibe. But obviously, Ain't Talking About Love is a staple for Van Halen. It's the outro chorus is built for a live show. Just having 15,000 people raising their fists singing "Hey Hey Hey" is
perfect.
Is just mandatory in the Van Halen set, and it's what we close with. So
Cool.
there's nothing, it is Van Halen. Ain't Talking About Love is Van Halen. And it's hard to find a song that's more Van Halen in their catalog, period. My favorite part of the song are the verse parts, the riff he does, that part with through a very loud rig that sounds sick. And oops. I just love that. It's so simple, but he created that sound, that tone, and he made the simple seem impossible. And it's another 20 out of 10 song, no matter who's singing it. So yeah.
Awesome, Caleb. Fruitcake, what have you got for us, brother? You've
No
seen
matter
this
who's singing
42 times.
Yeah, no matter who's singing it. It's always been a staple of a lot of their eras, late in the show, and they always enjoyed playing this live too. But yeah, it's no matter who sings that song with that band, it's still awesome. Um, so yeah, all day that song 10 out of 10 easy.
And Caleb, real quick, Neil Daly's in the chat. He's going to your show.
Yes, I talked to Neil
Cool.
via chat, and he's been saying he's going to come. So
He tried to talk me into
I will
finding
see
him.
and meet Neil Daly in a little under 40 hours. So
Awesome.
Wow.
Nice.
You must be excited, Caleb.
Wow.
yeah. It's going to be the first show in 515 days.
Oh wow.
Caleb's the
But
numbers man.
But who's counting? It's a long road. I've been trying to keep the band alive just by doing solos in my room here, and it's it's been an effort, and but it's fun. But
Yeah.
it's still, I'd rather play live with the band and feel my rig at a loud volume, which I've only been able to feel the last few weeks in rehearsals, and it's amazing. So anybody who plays guitar or knows that it's always best at a loud volume where you can feel it, and so to get the opportunity to do that, and then the opportunity to play with these guys and to do this music and to do it justice, hopefully, is always fun for me. And I can't believe we're this close. And I will be pretty amped up and ready to go. So
Yeah, awesome.
Well done.
Rock on.
Well done,
Caleb.
bro.
Yes, sir.
mm-hmm.
Thanks for sharing all your rehearsal stuff too, Caleb. It's great.
Yeah, it's fun. It's obviously I'm not playing all the mistakes, and there are plenty of those. So, but I've never been one to show my mistakes like anybody. So, but I do make them, and I'll make some on Sunday night, I'm sure. But I'll smile through it. Okay, there you go.
I've been reposting some of your videos to try to help promote it.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody who's helping out and has supported this thing. And gonna keep going, and hopefully we'll get some really good shows and be able to travel and do all that. I'm probably going to be making an announcement about something really cool soon. So just
That's what
waiting
we
for it to be announced officially. So, but very excited about that. That's going to be
Awesome.
more than, yeah. So
Cool. Prayers.
Fruitcake Tony, did you give us a score on Ain't Talking About Love?
he did.
Yes.
He did?
Yeah.
It's a 10.
For,
10.
for me, it's I love the version of this on livewithoutanet. I love it. It's got so much energy. It rocks. You know, I don't know. For me, Sammy singing it, there's no big deal. It doesn't really sort of. I think it. You know, respectfully, they play each other's songs because they admire each other.
Bastards.
By the way, we go on first. We go on at 8 o'clock sharp. So if you are not there at 8 o'clock, you're going to miss Unchained. So I would suggest being there at 8 o'clock or by 7:30. Doors are at 7. Early on a Sunday evening. It'll still be light outside, but it'll be fun. And the guys from Gacy DC are really funny, and it's an entertaining act. And you know, if you're tolerant, you'll enjoy it. So you know, it'll be fun. And we've been talking about doing a double bill for a couple of years, so it's finally happened. It was supposed to happen last September, but it obviously got shut down. And so we're fulfilling the obligation that we had, and should be a lot of fun. And hopefully there'll be close to full house. I don't want a full house technically. I'd rather some room in there for everyone, because I do believe that that Mr. CV19 will be in the house too. So everyone be careful. So go ahead.
Waiting on those next day uploads after that show.
Well, make sure you share Ain't Talking About Love on your Instagram, Caleb.
Oh yeah, I it was funny. There's been a guy who's followed us religiously to just about every show and filmed every song, and
Cool.
and then I get a big Dropbox at the end of the night message with all these videos. So I just messaged him the other day. I was like, "What you doing Sunday?" And he's all, "I'm coming." So, you know, I put him on the list, and I'm excited. It's just cool to be back, and you know, hopefully he'll get some good stuff. So
Yeah, we think.
Nice.
Well, for me, 10 out of 10, never a skip for Ain't Talking About Love. Andrew.
Yeah, look, it's a 10 out of 10, guys, too. I have to agree and concur with everybody else. You know, it's a definitive Van Halen song. As Fruitcake Tony said, you know, he's seen it 42 times. It doesn't matter who's singing it. It's a great song. I'm just thinking in my head, bro, did Gary sing that song when he was touring with...
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I don't even know. I don't even know for sure, but absolutely that was in the set. It can't be not in the set. I don't think there's been a Van Halen show since 1978 that hasn't had that song in the set.
Okay, so, cool. Yeah, just needed to confirm that. So thank you for that, Caleb. And the riff, obviously, that Caleb mentioned, you know, it's just fantastic. It's one of the first songs that, as guitar players, we learn, isn't it? It's just what is an A minor chord, you know, with a couple of hammer-ons. It's pretty good, but to get it, to nail it, as Caleb said a few times on other shows, it's in this hand too, isn't it? It's in the right hand. That makes it successful or not if you're going to play it. Love the song. Party mode, party central, never a skip. And I just want to, before I pass on to the Rev, want to do a special shout out to Simon, the rock professor, who's in the chat. He's the co-host with Brad and I on the Electric Blues show. and he's going to be on with us tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about. Oh, yeah. Hold on. He's going to be talking. We're going to be talking Rankin, Rory Gallagher. Look at that. I don't know how the Rev got into my studio to take that photo.
Thank you, Simon. All right. We're at Why Can't This Be Love? Sammy's third out of 4 songs in a row where he was playing guitar with tandem with Eddie. Again, on this song, he was playing the red Kramer Beretta with the clear guitar strap, which you could see once he didn't take his shirt off. I think he was wearing a tank top. But I'm surprised we haven't seen anyone in this weird Van Halen group get a transparent clear guitar strap for their red Kramer Beretta for era specific replicas, if you can find them anymore. But I give this song 8 out of 10. I thought it was really cool. Again, Eddie doing the live keyboards. You see the 5150 guitar just like propped up against the stage behind him, just sitting there, waiting for someone to knock it over. But no care in the world. But it was cool seeing the guitar back there behind him. Once again, the band, great energy. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I always noticed that the guitar sitting leaning against the monitor, his keyboard monitor.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. I'll be honest, not my favorite song. I was disappointed when I first heard it. I mean, it was cool. It was different
when it came out.
First heard it when it came out as their first release. It was so different than anything we'd heard near Van Halen. So, but I think was the idea. They kind of wanted to show us the different version and the different direction they were going in, and I wanted so much more from the solo. I wanted to hear him do his thing, and he wasn't doing his thing in that song. I mean, it probably better live than on the record for me. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10. But that's like a song we'll never be doing, and so.
Gary sang this one too, Andrew.
Yeah. I'm done.
Fruitcake.
Okay, so Why Can't This Be Love was the radio hit that we got before we heard the album. And
Correct.
I was already heartbroken that Roth had left, and this is what I hear out of this new Van Halen with sammyhagar. So until I heard the album, I was not impressed. But Why Can't This Be Love is just not my thing. I love Jump, I'll Wait, but Why Can't This Be Love? No, never was my thing. I like the album. I have to admit, sometimes I hit the skip button on Why Can't This Be Love.
Mm-hmm.
Once in a while, I do. Yeah. I'm gonna have to say a 5 out of 10 for Why Can't This Be Love? Yeah. It's done good live, But yeah,
Hmm.
not my favorite.
It's okay. We still love you, brother. We still love you.
I kind of feel like I might be going against the grain here, but I mean, I totally understand where you guys come from when you first heard it's not the Van Halen you were hoping for and things like that. And I understand that. Like, for me, I really like the song. I prefer the album version to Livewithoutanet. I would say it's not the greatest song when it comes to guitar playing or anything like that, but it's just a really great song. And I think the older I got, the more I appreciate the song, if that makes sense. I think at first I always wanted to hear Get Up and 5150 and that, but the more I listen to the 5150 record, for example, I really enjoy listening to it now, more so now than I did when I was younger. So I give it 8 out of 10 from Livewithoutanet, and I wouldn't skip it myself, but don't want to go against the grain too much. But yeah, I don't mind the song. I actually think it's pretty cool. It's a well written song. Let's just put it that way, and it did its job. I think they had a purpose behind releasing that, and it did its job. Andrew.
Oh, look, I love the song. I remember hearing the song on the radio. I was working, young guy, just turned 18, I think. And the song came on and had this weird intro. And then the DJs, this is back in the day when DJs actually told you something that was valuable. They don't say much these days, do they? Anyway, and they mentioned that it was a Van Halen song. It was like, holy cow. Because like all you guys, I'd been around the David Lee Roth version of Van Halen, Diverdown, 84 as well. And I heard this, and I was just instantly drawn to it, and because it was so different, and that's why I was instantly drawn to it. Got the album, and just flipped out on the album. Loved the song, and then when I saw it on the DVD, I was glad that it was there because this is their version of Van Hagar's version of a pop song, and they had to include it clearly, guys, because it was a phenomenal single, wasn't it? When it dropped, it was popular. And again, we've said this many times, and we don't ditch a band that makes or has popular music. Popular music back in the 80s too, we'll acknowledge that was a lot different to what it is today. There was some class, there was some sophistication and some depth to popular music back when we were younger. Aren't we old? Oh my gosh, but that's the truth. I'm going to give this song a 10 out of 10, and it's never a skip. Rev.
There you go.
All right, last song on the video, rock and roll. I thought it was pretty cool that they put this song on this video because I think doing covers was looked at different, but of course we know they were looking for content to play because they didn't have enough content to do a full show. So they picked a couple good songs. They did, what was the other? They had two other songs that didn't make the DVD. Addicted to Love, right? And I can't remember the other one. But I don't know. Wasn't my favorite. I guess maybe I'm just a fanboy and love the Van Halen content. But I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. Look, I wore out the Farm Aid version of that song. Wore it out.
You stay there. Stay there. Not you, Ray. Not you, Caleb. Sorry for interrupting. I've told Rev to stay. He's in timeout. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I think it's a decent closer to the video. I was always disappointed that Dreams wasn't on the DVD. And I think Good Enough's a great song. And if you listen to, there's one version I listened to today of Good Enough from the 5150 tour, and it's like a 2-minute solo that Eddie plays on that, and that solo is ridiculous. If you haven't heard it yet, it's probably the first thing you'd see if you punched in Good Enough from 1986 or 5150 tour. And yeah, I was a little, I definitely was like trying to pick my own set list and wondering why they didn't do certain songs from the record. And I just want to go back, by the way, and say that, yeah, I definitely questioned, like Tony, the release of the first single and my reaction to it. But as soon as I picked up that record or as soon as I heard Summer Nights on the radio, like the day or so before the record dropped, when like the local stations would play one song an hour from the record, so you had to stay and listen to the radio station all day to hear the album. And when I heard Summer Nights, I was all in. And yeah, Rock and Roll, great song, and they obviously do a great version of it. I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Awesome, Caleb. Fruitcake.
Rock and Roll, Led Zeppelin. Ed and Sam jammed on it at the Farm Aid thing. I just think it's the perfect ending to a show with a new band like that. They're sitting their stuff, they're sitting my stuff. Let's just rock.
Yep.
Yeah. And a great version of it too. Which now I would rather hear that than the original. Yeah, and I could probably go as far to say, Steve will kill me for saying this, but won't get fooled again also.
Yeah. I'll agree with won't get fooled again. Their version is just...
It's a great version.
So
yeah.
with this, it being that song, it's Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin. I mean, goddamn, it's easy a 10 out of 10. Easy. It's a new band, a cover, but a cover like that, dude, that's the best cover of all time.
Yeah, they did a few bars of that song, a verse and a chorus thing. They're kind of making fun of it, but they were jamming it, so did their own version of it, and that's Addicted to Love, by the way. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rock and Roll.
Fruitcake
were the three covers they typically did.
Fruitcake, did you give it 10 out of 10?
I did. A 10. Okay. A strong 10, too.
Okay. Well, anyone who knows me knows I'm a massive Zeppelin fan. So to hear them, obviously, I've seen Sammy and Ed perform that at the Farm Aid, but to hear them play it as Van Halen was really, really special. It was great. And they did their own version of it. They structure-wise, they did it their own way. And, in true Van Halen style, they did it justice. Mm-hmm. So, You know, Sammy's got a voice that can well and truly sing that stuff properly. But it sounded like a Van Halen song the way they did it, which is fantastic. And look, you can't give it anything but a 10 out of 10, really. And it was a great way. But I have to also agree with you all that I would have loved to have heard Dreams on this, and I would have loved to have heard Good Enough. That probably if I had my choice, I'd bump Rock and Roll to put Dreams in. And if I had my choice, I'd bump I Can't Drive 55 to put Good Enough in. But I'll leave it at that. But yeah, 10 out of 10. And Andrew, looking forward to your analysis.
Oh, look, I agree with you, bro. Dreams would have been just fantastic on this album. It's just a great killer song, isn't it? But what song is going to end this DVD VHS? What song's going to do it? Tony's nailed it on the head. It has to be this song. You know, it's a great song, rock and roll. Everyone knows it. We can all play it. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 too. But I have to agree with you. If I could bump a couple of songs off this perfect masterpiece, and this is something that we do, Caleb, on our ranking the tracks shows. There might be a couple of 6s or 7s or 5s, but on the context of the album or the DVD, it still remains a masterpiece, if that makes any sense, you know, because everything obviously can't be a 10 out of 10 unless it's Sticky Fingers, you know.
Just his solo alone is makes it a 10 out of 10. So
yeah. And you know, taking into account also one of the reasons why I'm giving this DVD and the songs high scores as I'm taking into account the visual aspect, because we can never take that away from that first initial experience. And this is one of the great things about being Van Halen fans, because we love talking about the first time we heard Eruption. We love talking about the first time we heard Sammy play with Van Halen. We don't talk a lot about the first time we heard Gary, and and the first time we saw this DVD. So that instant appeal that we have with this band's crucial. And, the first time I saw this, these guys singing rock and roll with my friends, we knew the song. As Brad said, everyone knows Led Zeppelin. You know, it's a great band. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I wonder if there was a reason why they kept Dreams off it. You know, maybe.
My theory is it probably wasn't vocally up to snuff.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Because it's the hardest. It's the hardest.
A little scared of that, I think. Initially.
It's the hardest Hagar song to sing.
Yeah.
You know, it's very difficult.
It's one of the hardest songs to sing. Period.
Right.
So. What I think is a huge point here about this DVD as a whole. We've seen Van Halen shows from all the eras, but there are reasons why that Live Without a Net stands as the holy grail to videos. Yeah. Why is that, Caleb?
Sorry?
Why do you think that this DVD stands as the holy grail of all of them?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the first time we saw him playing a solo up close. It was the first time that was available to us. And I think the energy of the band on that particular night, and obviously on that tour, made it what it was. You know, they had to kill, or they were done. I mean, maybe not done with us, but they wouldn't have gone number one. and that record and that tour, and then this, recounting of it, because it came out after it was all said and done. It was a very important year in the band's history, and they delivered that night in New Haven, or those nights in New Haven. They completely delivered, and they had everything against them. The whole rock world was stacked against this idea. It really was. Even Sammy Hagar fans were probably bummed that he joined Van Halen because they lost Sammy Hagar, but they made it happen, and it was a fun show, and they were having fun, and it sounded great. It was a great recording. They filmed it. It wasn't on cheesy video with light streaks and crap. Film. Using film is such a art form. It's the difference. If they used film on the Pretty Woman video, they probably wouldn't have banned it. It was just so cheesy that they did it on video. So I don't know. It's the holy grail because it captured the band at a real high point in their history, and they captured it well. And I'm just, I'm a better person for this video. Like, my life was enriched tremendously. My playing, my whole guitar life depended on this video, depended on it. And they hit it out of the park. So
yeah, and we all know that the band went on tour 4 or 5 days before or after the album came out, so they didn't have time to do videos, and they didn't do any videos because they said they wanted the fans to see the live version. But I think that's one of the reasons why they did this Live Without a Net, because they didn't do any videos. That's also why they did the Van Halen Unleashed as well, as they were looking for little tidbits to promote the band, because this was right at the peak of MTV and the videos, and they were just coming off 1984, where they had established themselves as the band that did the best videos, and then their next album they didn't do any videos, so they had to back it up on the road, and they had to back it up with this. And not only that, but they had to succeed with a second singer, which, as we all know, has only been done a couple times. AC/DC. Yeah, I mean, who else has done it?
Deep Purple.
They did it, though.
Deep Purple.
Journey, the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah,
not many.
It's tough. So that's why I think it's so special. Is there was a method to the madness and a reason why it had to be special. And we all know when it was time to perform, that was one thing that Van Halen did, is they let the music do the talking.
Yeah.
That they did.
Right on.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. I've just got some overlays here that John BL sent us. So I flicked them when the Rev was talking, but he's not in the chat. So I think we've all seen them before. There's a ticket stub there. I'm not sure if that's John BL's actual ticket stub. Did he see them live?
I don't think he saw the New Haven show.
Okay.
Oh, that's something I've never heard him say. So.
And there's some stills there that he's flicked through, obviously from the show, and there's his model of the stage set that he's been working on for a couple of years, guys. Mm-hmm. If you are familiar with the Johnny Bean show, he's on there often talking about it. So we wish him well in getting that finished.
You can see the 5150 back there behind the. I think that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Good spotting, brother. Good spotting,
Oh
bro.
man, we had such a laugh that night when he brought that
remember
out.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was funny.
That was
That was too funny.
tears. I was tears.
John
stuff.
BL, thanks for the shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Caleb,
right.
we were talking about earlier that you had Michael Anthony sign that bad boy.
It's well documented. It's on video. It's on.
I watched
it's
it.
an
I watched it
episode.
live, bro. I was watching it live.
That was a fun time. He was really cool, and that was a very cool experience for me. And you could just watch, if you could see it in the video. I was like it was like an 8-year-old kid. And
Oh, John Bill is in.
Oh, he's in there. I didn't take any calls while you were giving us the rundown on that event, Caleb. It was cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, Michael Anthony just like opened his arms to Caleb. It's like he didn't care that there was a bunch of people in line. He really turned it off for like 2-3 minutes and just was very vulnerable, which I thought shows a lot about who he is.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely
Cool.
took a lot more time with me than he was with other people, and I don't know what that was. That's just, he's a good dude, and I don't know, maybe he could just feel the vibe that this is one of the super fans here. I gotta take a little time, so
He knew.
it was good. I'm glad I made the journey that night. It was definitely a journey to that side of town for me, and against traffic, and but it was a nice little payoff there, and great moment for the Johnny Bean show, and just all of us stupid nerds. It was great. So
Oh yeah.
And you still have the shirt,
I do.
obviously.
No, not that one. I sent the signed one back to John BL. I thought he should have it, so he made it. I thought it would be the right move to send it back to him. So
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Well, Caleb,
I gave away my Michael Anthony signature. Yes.
Well, Caleb and Tony, thank you for joining us on this go around. You know, we finished doing all the albums, and this was our first, obviously, live video, and we're going to do live right here, right now, next, right?
Very cool. Oh, there's lots to talk about with that one. So
Yeah, that might be another 2-shower. We'll see.
Might even be 3, bro. Might even be 3 because there's a lot of scandal behind it.
yeah, got to read the Sammy book again just to brush up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Look, I appreciate it, guys. Fruitcake Tony for coming on, joining us, and
Enjoyed
Caleb
it.
Nerd Halen. You guys always have a permanent invitation to our show, Caleb, and to get the message from you on Instagram, to jump in. Absolutely, you are a big element to the Van Halen community internationally, and you assume that position humbly, and we appreciate that because that's what it's about, isn't it? It's about sharing the experience and just being here because of Eddie Van Halen, and the fact that you jump on our show a couple of times humbles us. So thank you. Come back. Please come back, brother.
Oh, definitely. Some of the best people I've met in my life are through this passion. So it's awesome. Like I hope to tip a few with you guys in person someday. It's like what I long to do, and it'll be like
It's gonna
really
happen.
cool. It'll happen for sure. So
Gonna happen.
I definitely look forward to that stuff. So you guys are awesome, and this is an honor for me. I could talk about it all day, and Lord knows my family knows that. So And I'm just glad I was struck by lightning. That's all. I'm just happy that this all happened.
Yeah, well, Brad and I talk about it often, Caleb, and I don't know if you get it, but Brad and I saw one version of Van Halen, only saw them once, blew us away, in '98. We got to see at least Eddie Van Halen, but to hang out with you, to hang out with the Rev and Tony, guys that have seen this band many times, is just kind of like we're not worthy, but it makes us feel good knowing that you guys can pass on the insight and everything that you guys have picked up, because we're just fanboys. We're just organic fans.
I definitely feel for you guys that have only seen it once, or definitely the ones that haven't, I think Laz was on with Johnny tonight, and he said he'd never seen them and he never will, and it really hit me hard, just him saying that, because I still have to remember that it's over, and when I do, it's very sad, and but nothing lasts forever, and it makes it special. So I'll cherish everything. I'm so glad I was there for the last one. Like, that to me,
wow, was
really, really special. And I felt it. I knew it, even though they were planning on something else. I just felt like that was it. And, I'm glad that I was able to do that. And, like I said, this is great for me. I could do this all day and talk about this stuff all day, and will probably for the rest of my life. So,
Caleb, it's crazy you say that, because I was just going to say, after seeing that 2015 show, I thought the same thing. And I was surrounded by both my brothers who, we were fans together growing up. And I told my oldest brother, who was the one that got me into Van Halen, I told him, I said, man, I almost feel like this is the last time we're going to be able to see these guys. And he's like, oh, no, they're not done. He's like, look at the Stones. And I just had that feeling.
I did too. I did too. I don't know why, but I thought this might be it.
There was, what it was for me, there was a piece in Eddie that night, and on that tour that I was seeing. Obviously he was sober, and but there was a piece about him, and I just felt like what more could they do together, him and Roth, without another record, what more, like how much of this greatest hits shit can you do, and is he even into it? I felt like the vibe was that they were going to walk separate ways off the stage, and that would be it. And definitely, when I saw that happen at the end of the show, it felt like that was it. So
yeah, Wolf had a lot to do with, as we know.
Now, Caleb, you were at that very last Hollywood Bowl show, is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and I made it a point not to go to the one on the 2nd. I wanted to go to the one on the 4th. Right. Because I had a feeling. I had a feeling for sure. From what all the videos I'd seen of the tour, I had a really weird feeling that this was it, and it just seemed like he was ready to retire. Not that we find out now that he was sick. Even then, and it was coming and going. So
it is cool you got to see the last one.
Yeah, believe me,
that is so cool. I've seen opening nights before, but you saw the last one.
Do you have this, Caleb?
That's cool.
No, I don't. Wow.
Let me see if I can get another one.
Wow. Yeah.
two-part DVD of that last show at Hollywood Bowl. I'll see if I can get another one for you.
Yeah, there's when you leave the Hollywood Bowl, it's such a rat fuck to get in there and out of there, traffic wise. So we take a shuttle bus to a different location, and we got on the shuttle bus, my wife and I, and I'm sitting down, and I just put my head down, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I think that was it." And I got like emotional, because I just had that feeling, like you said, Kurt. There was something in the air, and yeah, it's weird. But you know what? It was the first time I'd ever seen them play outside. I've seen them 14 times. First time I'd seen them play outside, and it sounded amazing. Usually it's just overpowering and way too loud, and kind of abrasive. And to hear them outside in that venue, which is a spectacular venue, it was really just perfect. And Dave had been struggling that whole tour, and that last night he sang like he wouldn't have to sing for another year, and so not great, but it was better than all the stuff I'd seen on that tour, and he really gave it his all, and yeah, I still can't believe it. People, I can't believe he's gone. I still wake up and think, wow, Yeah, I feel really bad for his son. I really do, because you just think about how much we love the guy. Could you imagine being his son, and how much you loved him? So.
Did you see him finish his show and point up?
Oh yeah. I saw Valerie post that, and I got the chokes for that. Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. I'm looking forward to that, to his tour and what happens, but I know it's bittersweet for him every night. So.
Yep. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to pass it on to the Rev to shout out to everybody in the chat before we go. But before that, I'd like Caleb to say quickly goodbye to everybody, Brad, and then obviously Fruitcake Tony. Thanks for joining us. Would you like to say goodbye, guys?
Goodbye, guys. No. Hey, if you're in Southern California, the day after tomorrow, come on down. The Echo. It's going to be fun. We're going to tear that shit up. 75-minute set. So it's going to be a bunch of songs, 15 or so. And yeah, love to see you. Come say hi.
Nice.
And
Caleb can come on and give us a review of the show on a future 5150 show. Caleb, come and tell us how it went. Awesome,
sure.
brother.
I mean, hoping it goes well, so I can come on and talk about how well it went. So
awesome. We'll be there with you. Fruitcake Tony.
Andrew, always a good time here on your show, brother. Yeah, always.
It's our show, brother. It's our show, but I appreciate
the best.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, brother.
You guys are the best.
If you guys haven't checked out Fruitcake Tony's channel, please do. Just easy. Search Fruitcake Tony. He comes up. He does a couple of shows. His pick show in Halenville. Check it out. We love Van Halen on. We want to take over the YouTube channels with Van Halen content. We love Van Halen. We're all friends here.
Yeah, give the Nerd Halen YouTube channel a subscription, please. Thank you.
Awesome. What I'll do, Caleb, is on my Nightbot, we'll do a thing for Nerd Halen, and we'll put that in there. So for future shows, that'll come up too. Cheers, brother. Thank you for reminding me to do that. We'll do that.
Nerd
Brad?
Halen Sunday.
Yeah. So and we'll also share your link in the card for the YouTube thing too, Caleb. So and Tony, But yeah, I want to thank everyone. Thanks Kurt for the pedal first and foremost. Love you, bro. Thank you for that. I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to get stuck into my carnal knowledge and balance era stuff. Good way to get into it. Thank you, Caleb, for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you on, man. We're always inspired by your love for Van Halen. Well, I'm trying to be serious, Andrew. He puts that up.
Sorry, bro.
That's all right.
Sorry.
At least Caleb's the closest one to the package now, not me.
The total package. Brad, the total package.
No, so thanks, Caleb, for joining us. And Fruitcake Tony, again, always a pleasure to have you on.
Yep.
And we love your show as well, bro. Thank you.
Always
And Andrew, thanks for having me on again. And, subscribe. Anyone, you won't let me. If you're not already subscribed, please do so, and share the love to all the channels. And thanks again. It's been wonderful, and re-inspired yet again by all you gentlemen. So thank you.
All right. Left in the chat, they're dropping off a little bit like flies here because we're closing up. But of course, Neil Daly, he'll be seeing Caleb in a couple days. Mike M from New Jersey, thanks, Mike. Keith Campbell, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, Crappy Luxury, Chris Wilton, Keith Campbell, and I think that's about it. So, and Caleb, thanks again. Good luck in your show. If I don't talk to you on Sunday, kill it. You guys will do awesome. We'll continue.
Kill it, dude. Kill it, Caleb. Rock on, bro.
We'll continue to promote Nerd Halen. And Fruitcake, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. It's good seeing you.
Fun. Good to see you guys.
All right. That's all I got.
Kill it, Caleb.
So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to drop everyone out so everyone can get a shot of those pink pants. Then I'll bring everyone in for the final video because it's just such a great thing to see. Hold on. Look at that. What a healthy looking spunk you are, mate.
Yeah, they're not baggy enough. Not baggy enough at all.
The largest size I could find.
Oh my gosh, man. You're awesome, bro. We're out of here.
See you guys.
God bless.
Good.